My child, stop scrolling. This is a divine interception, heaven breaking into your timeline, because tonight, it's not someone else's turn, it's yours. I've seen your endurance. I've tracked your tears. And now, I've released something into the earth that bears your name. I don't want your casual attention. I want your undivided spirit. Don't you dare click away. This word has eternal timing, and if you exit too soon, you may miss what I've been preparing your entire life to deliver in this moment. I'm not offering inspiration. I'm handing you a surprise that unlocks cycles, shifts atmospheres, and changes the trajectory of everything ahead. So listen closely. Watch until the very last breath of this message. Because before it ends, something holy will activate in your life. You won't just hear me, you'll feel me. And once you do, you'll never be the same. So hush the noise. Still your mind. Let your soul breathe in my presence. This is not just another hour slipping into the night. This is sacred ground. You are standing in a moment I marked before the foundations of the earth were laid. A second crafted not by coincidence, but by holy design. I stitched it into your journey long before you learned how to hope for it. You may have thought you stumbled here by chance, scrolling past a sea of distractions, wandering through hours you couldn't explain. But I was the one pulling you in. This exact breath, this divine interruption, was etched in my timeline long before your eyes ever opened to this day. I chose it. I aligned it. I sanctified it. Because this isn't just a message, it is a meeting. A holy appointment with eternity echoing in every word I speak over you now. You've questioned the silence, wondered if your prayers were caught in a traffic jam of heaven's delays. But tonight I need you to feel the gravity of what I'm saying. This second, this quiet, unseen, holy second, is not random. I have brought heaven's attention to your doorstep, and my voice is leaning in closer than your breath. Pause everything else. Let the rush of the world fall away, because I am stepping in, not lightly, not casually, but with the full weight of eternity pressing in on your behalf. This is the turning of a page. This is the unveiling of what has been hidden. Preserve it and protect it until your heart was ready to carry it. What others missed in the noise, you will hear in the stillness. And what you feel now stirring in your chest, that holy unease, that quickening of spirit, that's not emotion, that's me. It's my presence awakening the parts of you that thought I had forgotten. So come close now, closer than before. Let your soul lean into the weight of this moment. I am not in a rush. I don't need a microphone. I need your heart. I need the part of you that has been quietly waiting, secretly hoping, faithfully enduring. Tonight is your moment, and no one can take that from you. You've waited while others ran. You've stood still while others leapt ahead. But I wasn't measuring you by speed. I was anchoring you in strength. Because what I'm about to release will require roots, not just reach. The timing is mine, and my timing is perfect. This isn't late. It isn't early. It's exact. It's divine. And it's now. So breathe, child. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You're not overlooked. You are divinely positioned, and all of heaven knows it. The angels know your name. The wind knows your direction. The atmosphere is shifting to meet you in this intersection of divine orchestration. Nothing, and I mean nothing, about this second is ordinary. The spiritual current has changed. The heavens are leaning low, and your name is echoing in places you've never seen. Because the moment has come. The ink has dried, and the page is turning. Tonight it's your turn. My beloved, I see you. I have always seen you. In the nights where silence wrapped itself around your heart like a cloak of unanswered questions, I was there. When your prayers went out like whispers into the dark and you heard nothing in return, I was closer than you knew. You thought you were alone, but you were not abandoned. You were anointed. You walked through winds no one else felt, carrying burdens no one else noticed. You survived seasons that would have shattered others, not because you had the strength, but because I carried you with invisible arms when your knees were too weak to stand. Those unspoken storms were not signs of failure. They were the proving grounds of your faith. You passed through pressure that was designed to purify, not punish. What felt like silence was actually me singing over you in a frequency only your spirit could understand. You wondered if I heard. You questioned if your devotion meant anything when all you saw were closed doors and dry soil. But child, I counted every tear that dropped like pearls into the pillow you clutched at night. I collected every sigh, every inner scream that never made it to your lips. They were loud in heaven. Your secret sacrifices thundered across eternity. You may not have seen results right away, but every act of obedience was building a foundation that could carry the weight of what I'm about to place in your life. I wasn't ignoring you. I was investing in you. I wasn't delaying to disappoint you. I was anchoring you so deeply in me that nothing could uproot you when the blessing began to bloom. The world taught you that visibility equals value, but I operate differently. I develop greatness in hidden gardens. I refine royalty in lonely places. What felt like obscurity was sacred protection. You weren't being overlooked. You were being overshadowed by my hand, by my wings, by my love. And now, child, the stage is set. The curtains are parting. The thunder you felt inside your chest was not despair. It was the sound of heaven applauding your endurance. You passed tests you didn't even know were being given. And now, I'm not just giving you relief. I'm giving you revelation. I'm going to show you why the road was so long, why the silence was so loud, and why the darkness had to linger just a little while longer than you wanted. And I didn't win. It never had the power. It only sharpened your vision to see what others will miss when the light returns. You never prayed in vain. You never stood in vain. You never waited in vain. The fruit of your hidden faith is about to grow in public places. Not because you chased reward, but because you chose me when reward wasn't even visible. You are about to see what happens when faith takes root in drought. The harvest will not make sense. The favor will not be explainable. The doors I open won't match the rooms you applied for, but they will fit your fingerprint perfectly. I have custom sealed this moment for you, child. Your suffering was not a sentence. It was a setup. Your storms were not punishment. They were preparation. The winds that tried to break you have now shifted. They are carrying the sound of breakthrough to your doorstep. And I assure you with the full weight of heaven's word, not 1 second of your suffering will go unrewarded. Listen to me now, beloved. You've grown familiar with the whisper, those soft nudges, those barely there moments when you sensed I was near, even when I didn't speak aloud. You've learned to trust me in the quiet. You found me in the stillness. But tonight is not a whisper. Tonight is not silence. Tonight, heaven is roaring. And that roar is not rage, it is rescue. It is not chaos, it is a coronation. The Lion of Judah is on the move, and he is roaring your name through eternity's corridors. Every force that stood against you is trembling now because what I am releasing cannot be blocked, delayed, or debated. This is not suggestion. This is declaration. The weight of my voice is shifting the atmosphere around you even now. You've endured whispers in the wilderness, but now you will hear the roar of your release. I have torn open the heavens like a scroll. The angels are not just observing. They are operating. They are executing orders dispatched from my throne. I have commanded the winds to carry my will to you. I have shouted instructions to the earth, and it will obey. Mountains are moving. Chains are breaking. Timing is aligning. The roar you feel reverberating in your chest, that's the vibration of breakthrough colliding with your timeline. This is not poetic. This is prophetic. This is not metaphor. This is manifestation. I am not speaking in parables tonight. I am proclaiming in power. And yet, this roar, this fierce holy sound, is also intimate. Because even as I roar into realms unseen, I still speak your name with tenderness. I still see you not as a soldier in a crowd, but as a child close to my chest. I haven't lost you in the sound. I've found you in the fire. I've located your spirit in the swirl. You will not be drowned out by the volume. You will be lifted by it. Because this roar isn't just shaking the earth, it's lifting you into a place of divine announcement. Where once there was silence, there is now song. Where once there was waiting, there is now arrival. You don't need to make sense of it. Just stay open. Just stay near. I'm not coming quietly this time. I'm coming with the full force of my favor. I am roaring restoration into your past, alignment into your present, and acceleration into your future. So don't fear the thunder, child. It is the sound of me arriving. The roar you hear is not danger. It is deliverance. It is me tearing through what tried to tether you. You've heard lies long enough. You believe a delay was denial. But tonight the roar proves otherwise. This is not a season for subtle signs. This is a moment for unmistakable miracles. And I have chosen to make my move loud, clear, and unstoppable. Heaven is roaring. Not just around you, but for you. My beloved child, the waiting season has closed. What you've longed for, cried for, prayed for in trembling whispers under the blanket of night, it is no longer pending. It is no longer in process. It is in motion. Heaven has already released what your heart could hardly dare to hope for. The breakthrough isn't on its way. It's already left my hand. The divine dispatch has been made, and it carries your name, your tears, and your fingerprints etched into its arrival. This is personal. This is specific. This isn't a general blessing scattered in a crowd. This is your moment. Your divine delivery. I crafted it not with haste but with holiness. Every thread of this breakthrough was woven with care, calibrated with precision, and sealed with love. You were never forgotten. Your requests never got lost in the spiritual static. They were recorded in detail, every syllable, every sigh, every sacred sentence spoken in secret. You see, I don't just listen to words, I listen to wounds. I don't just respond to prayers, I respond to pain. And your pain spoke volumes. It spoke when your voice failed. It cried out when your strength waned. It called on me in moments when you didn't even realize you were praying. And I responded, not casually, not conditionally, but covenantally. I assigned your breakthrough with coordinates that match only your spirit. It cannot be redirected. It cannot be intercepted. I sent it with angelic escorts to guard its path because what I'm sending into your life now must arrive untouched, undiluted, and undeniable. No delay can hold it. No demon can hijack it. No fear can cancel it. You are not waiting anymore. You are receiving. What was once held back by timing has now been thrust forward by fulfillment. Do not look for the signs in the sky anymore. Look inward, because you will begin to sense it before you see it. That sudden peace that doesn't make sense, that flicker of strength returning to your weary limbs, that holy anticipation in the middle of your ordinary routine. Those are not coincidences. Those are confirmations. Your spirit already knows what your eyes are about to witness. And when it comes, it will come not with a whisper but with wonder. You will feel the weight of glory before you see the shape of the gift. Because I am not just answering a prayer, I am establishing a testimony. The kind that silences doubters. The kind that humbles pride. The kind that proves that the one who began a good work is always faithful to finish it. This isn't a partial response. This is a divine delivery in full. So don't ask if it's really happening. Don't question whether it's for someone else. This was marked for you. The tears you cried wrote your address in heaven's registry. And now the very angels who caught those tears are carrying the answer back to your doorstep. I do not speak lightly. I do not move randomly. I am intentional, strategic, and deeply invested in every detail of your destiny. And right now, in this very hour, your name is being whispered in places your feet have never stood. Your life is being aligned for an outpouring that only obedience can unlock. This isn't reward for perfection. It's recognition of perseverance. And the breakthrough you thought had passed you by is now pressing against the doors of your life with power. Open wide, child. It's not approaching. It has arrived. My child, how many times did you feel like I was late? How many hours did you count, trying to convince yourself that maybe the silence meant I had changed my mind? How many nights did you wrestle with thoughts that perhaps you misunderstood me, that maybe I said yes to someone else instead? But let me make it plain to you now, with the fire of my truth and the softness of my love. What seemed delayed was never denied. Not once. Not ever. My promise has never left your timeline. It has simply, in waiting for the fullness of preparation, both in the world around you and the heart within you. I did not withhold because you were unworthy. I withheld because you were becoming ready. You see delay as punishment. I see it as protection. And everything that appeared to stand still was actually being orchestrated with microscopic precision. You couldn't see it, but I was weaving threads behind the scenes. Threads of timing. Threads of positioning. Events of maturity. I was placing people in the right rooms, aligning opportunities with unseen schedules, holding doors shut that you begged me to open, because I knew that if you walked through them too soon, what you found would not hold the weight of what you're about to carry. You saw detours. I saw divine choreography. You saw stillness. I saw sedum. I was not punishing you. I was preserving what I planned for you until it could land safely in your hands. And now, child, those hands have been softened through surrender, strengthened through storms, and sanctified through suffering. Your heart has been broken in ways that made space for me to fill it more fully. And now you can receive what once would have crushed you. Because I love you too much to give you something holy when your hands were still clenched by fear. I love you too deeply to allow you to carry greatness when you were still tethered to the opinions of those who couldn't see your worth. I was waiting not on circumstances but on surrender. And now, surrender has brought you into alignment with the moment you've always hoped for. I didn't rush. I didn't postpone. I waited for the second heaven knew you were ready to carry not just the blessing, but the burden of breakthrough with grace. I held it back until the weight of glory would no longer break your back, but lift your spirit. And child, that second is now. Right now. So release the resentment. Let go of the timelines you created in your mind. Tear down the comparisons you've used to measure your own progress. I was never behind, and neither were you. You are on time, perfectly positioned, eternally scheduled. And the thing you thought I forgot about, the dream you buried, the vision you laid to rest, is rising again. Not in the form you expected, not in the package you imagined, but in the way that only I could design, tailored, trusted, and timed to perfection. The waiting wasn't wasted. It was woven into your DNA. And what I'm about to place into your life now will not only fill the void, but it will silence every lie that said I didn't care. This moment, child, this moment is proof that I was always watching, always working, always waiting for your heart to be ready. Child, draw near. Let everything else fall away for a moment. Every noise, every opinion, every obligation that tries to pull you into the blur of distraction. Because this right here is not a moment for the masses. This is not a broadcast for the crowds. This is not a general outpouring shared across the sky like scattered rain. This is precise. This is personal. This is prophetic. I crafted this unveiling not as a wide announcement but as a whispered invitation, tailored for your ears, timed for your spirit, and trusted into your hands alone. What I am doing now is not meant to be compared, competed with, or misunderstood. It is meant to be carried in reverence and received with awe. I did not send this shift as a show. I sealed it as a secret, and it has your name written in the ink of eternity. Others may see the light beginning to break in your life, but they will not understand the weight it carries. That's because they weren't invited into the forging. They weren't awake in the wilderness where I walked you through shadows and sharpened your discernment. They didn't see the tears you buried beneath a brave smile. They didn't feel the aching prayers, the unspoken desperation you carried when no one else knew you were on the verge of collapsing. But I knew. I saw it. And I chose you. Not randomly, not reluctantly, but with confidence in who you were becoming. This isn't just a moment of recognition. It's a moment of entrustment. I am placing something in your life now that cannot be mishandled, misunderstood, or manufactured by others. It's custom. It's coded to your obedience. It's woven into the fabric of your journey. You see, what I give now cannot be Googled. It cannot be packaged or sold. It cannot be duplicated, because it is not built from human strategy, but from heaven's scrolls. You don't need to defend it. You don't need to explain it. Just protect it. Guard it. Carry it with the humility that got you here. Because this sacred unveiling was timed to your character, not your calendar. I waited until you were no longer tempted by the spotlight, until you had learned to love me in the shadows. That's why I trust you now. Not because you shouted the loudest, but because you stayed the longest. You held on when others let go. You listened when others grew numb. You waited when it felt foolish. And that's why the sacred unveiling is yours. But let me be clear, this is not the climax. It's the commencement. The opening act of something so layered, so deep, so drenched in destiny, that even you will struggle to explain it. And that's okay. You weren't called to explain it. You were called to embody it. You were called to live it out so that the world would see what surrender really looks like. The glory will not rest on your talent, your platform, or your charisma. It will rest on your posture, your bowed head, your pure motives, your steady obedience. I am writing something through your life that cannot be erased. And I started this next chapter not with a bang, but with a breath, my breath, whispering into your spirit, it's time. You are not stepping into spotlight. You are stepping into stewardship. And I trust you with what I'm unveiling now. Wake up, a child. Shake the dust from your spirit. Let the weight of this word sink past your skin and into the marrow of your bones. Because while others yawn in the face of my glory, you will tremble with recognition. While others scroll without a second thought, you will stop, breathe, and feel the very atmosphere shift around you. The earth is responding to your obedience. Creation itself is testifying. Can you feel it? That holy tension pressing against your chest, that divine awareness curling through your thoughts. It's not imagination. It's invitation. The response has already begun. The winds are moving in your favor. The timelines are folding into alignment. What I've released isn't waiting for applause. It's waiting for your agreement. Others may miss it. They'll blink and it will pass by. They'll brush it off as emotion, a fleeting moment of inspiration, and return to their routines. But not you. No, you've been trained to recognize the tremble. You've been taught to listen beneath the silence. Your spirit has grown sensitive in the shadows. So when I move, even subtly, you don't ignore it. You shift with it. You lean into it. You listen. That's why I'm showing this to you first. Because I know you won't dismiss it. I know you won't dilute it. I know you won't defile it with doubt. The sacred shift has begun like a slow burning fire, and you, my child, are the flame it ignites. You see, the world has grown desensitized to the sacred. They chase noise. They feed off chaos. They follow spectacle. But you've learned to sit in silence and still find me. You've learned to let tears speak louder than your words. You've found my voice not in the shout, but in the still small whisper. That's why you're feeling what others will ignore. That's why the ground beneath you is starting to shake. It's not an earthquake of destruction. It's a divine quake of activation. I'm disturbing the soil to make room for roots. I'm shifting the landscape to reveal hidden paths. You are not crazy for feeling this. You are consecrated. And the trembling in your spirit is the echo of my footsteps approaching. So walk carefully, child, but not fearfully. Walk reverently, but not hesitantly. You are not missing your moment. You are walking in it. Every step you take now is syncopated with heaven's rhythm. Every breath you draw is filling your lungs with my timing. Don't compare your pace to others. Don't measure their reactions against your revelation. I didn't make this shift visible to the crowd. I made it tangible to your spirit. Because what I'm birthing through you is not meant for popularity. It's meant for purpose. You are not just observing a move of God. You are the move. You are the living testimony, the walking prophecy, the embodied fulfillment of prayers prayed in generations past. And yes, others may sleep through it, but not you, because I awakened you for this. My precious child, you never asked for the battle, but you stood in it. You never signed up for the wait, but you bore it. I watched you walk into rooms with your head held high, even when your heart was breaking beneath the surface. I watched how you smiled when the sorrow in your chest screamed for release. I saw how you spoke peace to others while a storm raged within your own soul. That wasn't pretense. That was perseverance. That wasn't denial. That was divine endurance. And child, let me be very clear, heaven took note. I counted the moments where your faith walked on shaking legs but refused to collapse. I recorded the silent sacrifices, the unthanked offerings, the praise you gave me when there was no visible reason to sing. Others didn't see you, but I did. And what I saw, I'm now responding to. You didn't fold under pressure. You didn't let the weight crush your worship. You kept trusting me in the shadows when all around you seemed unfair, unkind, and unseen. While others questioned your strength, I was measuring your surrender. Because I knew something they didn't. I knew what I was building in you. I knew what I was preparing you for. And I knew that your ability to stand under this weight would be the foundation to carry the weight of glory I'm now releasing over your life. You weren't just being tested, child. You were being trained. Every heartbreak that didn't make sense was a molding. Every delay that cut deep was a chiseling. Every quiet yes you whispered in faith became a stone in the altar I was constructing from your obedience. And now, with my own hand, I'm setting that altar ablaze. This is not the moment where you are simply rescued. This is the moment where you are rewarded. Yes, rewarded. Not because you were perfect, but because you were faithful. I reward faithfulness, not flashiness. I honor consistency, not charisma. You didn't need a crowd to validate your commitment. You had my gaze, and that was enough. And now, the very areas where you suffered in silence are about to bloom in radiant glory. The pain that was buried so deeply in your private moments will soon produce fruit so public that it silences every voice that ever doubted your journey. I'm turning your heaviness into harvest, your weariness into wonder, your survival into supernatural strength. This isn't a cosmetic breakthrough. It's a structural reformation. The blueprint you've been carrying in your belly is about to become visible, tangible, undeniable. And so, hear me as I speak this over you now. I am not late. I am exact. And the faith you held on to while dying inside is the faith that now gives birth to divine outpouring. I saw you stay when others walked away. I saw you love when you had every reason to shut down. I saw you give when you had barely enough for yourself. That is the kind of heart I honor. That is the kind of trust I bless. So lift your eyes, my child. This is not just the turning of a page. This is the opening of a vault that has stored every unspoken prayer, every brave decision, every unseen labor of love. And I, the Lord your God, am now unlocking it. Your name has echoed through eternity, and this right now, is where the echo becomes evidence. Listen carefully now, beloved. What's happening tonight is not a reset. It's a resurrection. I'm not simply repairing what life tried to break. I'm reviving what death never had the power to take. This isn't about restoring what you lost. It's about revealing what I protected. Yes, protected. Because some things you thought were gone were never actually stolen. They were sealed. I hid them. I covered them. I tucked them into the chambers of my sovereignty so that when the enemy came looking, he would find nothing to steal. You mourned the loss of dreams, of people, of seasons, but not everything that left was loss. Some of it was me pulling sacred things into safekeeping until you were ready. And now, the seal is being broken. The grave is being emptied. The dry bones are shaking. Resurrection is happening not in theory, but in real time, and it begins with you. You've been in a holding place, a liminal space, a suspended season where it felt like everything froze. But resurrection doesn't begin with noise. It begins in the stillness. And that stillness is now quaking with holy energy. I am breathing life into places you labeled too far gone. I am calling forth identity from beneath layers of disappointment. I am resurrecting not only your dreams, but your desire to dream again. The ashes of your last season are now becoming the soil of this one. Where you sow ruins, I see a resurrection site. Where you built altars of grief, I am planting banners of victory. And this resurrection isn't a revival of your old life. It's the revealing of the one I always had in mind. One the enemy couldn't touch. One pain couldn't pervert. One time couldn't erase. Tonight, I am not putting the pieces back together. I am giving you something untouched, unscarred, and unspoiled by the journey. You thought you were being delayed, but I was preserving what was holy. The relationships that ended, Preservation. The positions that didn't open. Protection. The platforms that didn't call your name. Precision. You didn't lose your moment. I delayed your unveiling. And now, with divine urgency, I declare to you, it's time. Not to recover, but to rise. Not to reclaim, but to receive. You aren't going back to what was. You're stepping into what always was but had yet to be revealed. This is the kind of resurrection that redefines reality. And when I raise something, I raise it with purpose, with power, and with permanence. So don't look for the old version of your life, my child. That shell is gone. That shadow is finite. I buried it for a reason. What's rising now is stronger. What's being revealed now is pure. You thought I had taken something from you. But what I really did was tuck it away where trauma couldn't touch it. And now, I am placing it back into your life. Brighter, bolder, and more beautiful than you ever imagined. This is resurrection. And it will not whisper. It will roar. It will shake your foundations and shatter every false narrative that said you were forgotten. You weren't forgotten. You were being formed. And now, you are not just restored. You are reborn. Tonight, my beloved, you rise. My dearest child, I know the haunting echo of the word too late has chased you through seasons like a shadow you couldn't outrun. I know how your heart twisted when you saw others move ahead, cross thresholds, build their dreams while you stood still, hands full of faith but feet stuck in waiting. You looked at the calendar and the clock and wondered if maybe I had skipped over your name. You whispered into the darkness, did I miss it? Did I delay too long? Did I mess it all up? But today, with the force of eternity behind my words and the gentleness of a father cradling his child, I say this to you. No. You did not miss your moment. You did not fail your season. You are not too late. You are right on divine time. Because this moment, this exact breath in your chest, it was not postponed. It was preserved. Preserved with precision. Protected with purpose. Sealed away from contamination, from distortion, from premature exposure. I wrapped this moment in layers of my own timing and I hid it, not from you, but for you. Because I knew what I was building in you. I knew that premature promotion would lead to fragile foundations. I knew that if I gave you what you were praying for too soon, it would have collapsed under the weight of what your heart wasn't yet ready to carry. So I waited. And in the waiting, I worked. I didn't leave the room. I leaned in. I drew closer with every tear you cried, with every ache you carried. My silence wasn't absence. It was alignment. I wasn't punishing you with delay. I was preparing you for durability. You see, child, delay in my kingdom is never dead time. It is designed time. And what I design in hiddenness, I reveal in glory. I was making sure this moment would not resemble what others called success. I was ensuring it would be unmistakably marked by my hand, my fingerprint, my favor. You feared you missed the mark. But you were being measured for something greater. You thought the door was locked. But I was fashioning a new one, with a key that fits only your obedience. You compared yourself to others who seemed ahead, but they were running on different tracks. You were not behind. You were being reserved for such a time as this. Now the seal is breaking. The wrapping is being torn back. Your aroma of purpose is rising. And what I've preserved is being presented, not as an apology for the past, but as an affirmation of your persistence. This isn't a second-hand blessing. It's not a leftover miracle. It's a made-for-you moment that fits your timeline, your tears, your testimony. This is not late. This is legacy. And when I move, I don't rush. I reveal. And what I am revealing now will silence every inner critic, every external accusation, every lingering doubt that told you it was too late. I am the God who restores time. I redeem delay. I resurrect destiny. And this moment, my beloved, was never missed. It was marvelously, miraculously, meticulously preserved. Child of my heart, come close and listen, not with your ears, but with your soul. Because I have seen something the world has never celebrated, but heaven has. I have watched you give me your yes in moments so hidden, so holy, so hushed that even you question if they mattered. I watched you choose faith when it was inconvenient. I saw you turn down opportunities that looked good because they didn't bear my name. I heard the internal conversations where you could have chosen the easy road, the visible path, the crowd-approved platform, but instead you stayed in the quiet lane of obedience. And while others were chasing applause, you were offering your allegiance. That is what I gather. That is what I crown. You thought your surrender was small because it was silent. But I tell you now, those silent yeses roared through the halls of heaven. You didn't need a stage. You didn't need spotlight. You didn't need recognition. You just needed me. And that is why I've chosen this hour to elevate you, not to fame, but to fulfillment. Not to visibility, but to victory. I crown the unseen places. I reward what's done in secret. While others chased claps, you clung to conviction. While some ran after favor from men, you remained faithful in the fog. You didn't know it, but you were building an altar. Every quiet act of obedience was a stone. Every yes without a witness was incense. And now, child, I'm setting it all ablaze with glory. You've been gathering nothing, it seemed, but I was gathering everything. Every time you said yes to me and no to compromise, I recorded it. Every time you chose humility over hype, I marked it. Every time you honored me with integrity instead of image, I rejoiced. I never asked for perfection. I asked for presence. And you gave me yours, again and again, when no one saw, when no one noticed, when no one said thank you. But I say thank you now, not as a God in need of praise, but as a father who delights in his child. Your hidden yeses built a runway for what I'm about to release. The weight of the favor that's coming could not rest on shallow roots. But you, beloved, have been growing downward before you rise upward. So don't despise the hiddenness. Don't regret the seasons that felt unseen. Don't envy the noise others receive, because you were never being ignored. You were being insulated. I was guarding your oil, protecting your fire, preserving your purity. And now, in this holy unveiling, I will show the world what I saw when no one was watching. They will see the fruit, but you and I will know the cost. And the crown I place on your head will not be decorated in jewels made by man. It will be fashioned from the fire you endured, the faith you displayed, and the yes you never revoked. This isn't a promotion. It's a coronation. And I, the Lord your God, am exalting what others overlooked, not to elevate your ego, but to honor your essence. The applause of man fades, but the reward of God, it echoes forever. I was there, child. Every time you dropped your head, not in defeat, but in divine release, I was watching. Not as a distant observer, but as a father so near he could feel your every breath. I saw the moment you finally let go of the timeline you tried to control. I witnessed the sacred second when you let your dreams fall from your grip, not out of despair, but out of trust. You weren't quitting. You were yielding. You weren't walking away. You were bowing down. And it was that posture, not loud prayers, not flashy declarations, but raw, surrendered stillness that captured heaven's full attention. When others thought you were breaking, you were actually birthing. When they saw collapse, I saw coronation. Because surrender is not the language of the weak, it is the anthem of the anointed. Do you understand the weight of what I am telling you? Your surrender didn't disqualify you, it crowned you. You didn't lose control, you transferred it. You placed it in the only hands that could carry it without failing. You trusted me not with your polished, put-together version, but with your mess, with your unfiltered, unspeakable lakes. And it was in those quiet collapses that I did my deepest construction. I reshaped your desires. I restructured your heart. I redefined what success meant for you, not with public applause, but with private alignment. While others were striving to stand taller, you chose to go lower. And that decision, the deep, Spirit-led decision to surrender, is what has qualified you for this very moment. The unveiling doesn't come to the proud. It comes to the pliable. And you, my beloved, have made yourself moldable in my hands. I do not crown talent. I do not elevate ego. I honor surrender. I reward trust. And because you've lowered yourself, I am now lifting you. Not just into visibility, but into authority. Not into spotlight, but into stewardship. Because now I know I can trust you. You won't take the glory and wear it as your own. You won't make the moment about you. You'll carry it with reverence, not as a trophy, but as a testimony. You'll walk with it the way you walk through the fire, with your head bowed to me, with your eyes locked on heaven. This unveiling isn't for vanity. It's for validation. I am revealing what I've been refining. I am uncovering what I've been cultivating. You thought you were bearing, but child, you were planted. And now the shoot breaks the soil. Now the harvest rises from hiddenness. So lift your head, not in pride, but in promise. You are not the same person who once questioned if I even saw you. You are the one I have been drawing closer, deeper, quieter, so that this unveiling wouldn't just change your season, but your soul. You surrendered, and now I am showing you what only surrender can unlock. The lid has lifted, the veil has torn, and the beauty of what's coming forth isn't the result of perfection, but of posture. You bowed low, and now you rise. This isn't about being noticed. It's about being known. And I, the Lord your God, have always known the weight you carried when you bowed your head. And now, I lift your chin with my hand, and I whisper this to your spirit. It's time to rise into everything your surrender made room for. And now that you've heard me say it, it's your turn. I ask you to help me turn the light on for someone else. Just as I sent this word into your life like manna for your soul, there are others who are starving for their own confirmation, their own divine surprise. Give, and it shall be given to you, but I'm not just promising return, I'm promising ripple. When you sow into this word, through super thanks, membership, or the link in the description, you're not giving to a screen, you're planting seed into a global harvest. This is how the oil multiplies. This is how the fire spreads. Souls are waiting, and your giving becomes the bridge between their despair and my voice. This moment is not a suggestion. It is a divine intersection. I declare over you now, whoever waters others will himself be refreshed. So release it now. Don't wait. Be part of the miracle. Feel it now, beloved. It's not just an emotional stirring. It's not just a fleeting surge of hope. What you feel pressing against your chest, rising in your spirit, is the undercurrent of heaven shifting beneath your feet. The current has changed. The waters that once stood still The wells that once seemed dry, now they flow. The stream is moving, and you are not on the sidelines anymore. You are not stuck. You are not circling the same mountain again. You are in motion, divinely directed motion. The tide has turned. The spiritual season has shifted. And you, who once felt trapped in waiting, are now standing in the stream of holy momentum. I am pulling you forward, not by your effort, but by my energy. You are not pushing anymore. You are being pulled by my promise. You may not see the shoreline yet, but you will feel the difference. This is not the shallow water of striving. This is the deep river of my sovereignty. I am carrying you into places you could never have reached on your own. Not because you earned it, but because you endured. You stayed when it made no sense. You planted seeds in dry ground. You poured oil when you felt empty. And now, you are stepping into the flow. You are moving not just in pace, but in purpose. Every part of your life is being swept into synchronization with heaven's rhythm. Your relationships, your resources, your revelation, all of it is aligning. You don't have to make it happen anymore. You just have to stay in the stream. I want you to trust this current, even when you don't understand where it's going. It may feel fast. It may feel unfamiliar, but it is not unsafe. I am the one directing the flow, and I am bringing you into places you once only dreamed of, places of peace you never thought possible, places of joy so full it brings tears, places of clarity where confusion once lived. The current will carry you through what would have crushed you before. You're not stuck anymore. You're not spinning. You're not stalled. You are being moved, pulled, ushered forward by grace. No longer paralyzed by the past. No longer bracing for breakdown. This movement isn't a ripple. It's a holy rush. And you are right in the center of it. So go with me. Don't resist the flow. Don't fear the speed. You're not being swept away. You're being swept into alignment, into fulfillment, into destiny. What once felt like delay now reveals itself as divine pacing. What once felt like punishment now unfolds as positioning. I am pulling you forward with a force that's not of this world. This is not the hour of hesitation. It is the hour of holy acceleration. And you, child, are not just stepping in, you are being carried. Held by my hand, directed by my spirit, caught in the current of my covenant. The waters have shifted, the flow has begun, and you are moving with me. My beloved, let me tell you something that heaven has known, even when your heart has doubted. The work I've been doing in you has not been small. It has not been slow. It has not been passive. It has been powerful, even if it's been quiet. And I know how tempting it's been to equate progress with proof, to look at your surroundings and ask, where is the evidence? But child, you've forgotten the holy pattern of transformation. I always begin in secret. I always do my deepest work beneath the surface. I don't decorate the outside while the roots are still shallow. I fortify you from within, because what I am building through you must be able to carry eternal weight. This is why the silence has lasted. This is why the fruit hasn't fully bloomed. It's not because nothing is happening, it's because everything is happening, and it's happening inside of you. You've asked me to change your circumstances, and I heard that prayer. But I chose, first, to change your capacity. Because the new doors I'm opening require a new version of you. Not a louder version, not a busier one, but a more surrendered, more spirit-filled, more rooted version. And so I've been working in the quiet chambers of your soul, reshaping your identity, healing the cracks you didn't even know were leaking strength, removing lies that had disguised themselves as your personality. You thought you were just tired, but I was making you tender. You thought you were losing opportunities, but I was creating overflow. You thought you were standing still, but I was anchoring you deeper than ever before. What you feel now, that tug in your spirit, that stretching in your chest, that's not the beginning. That's the unveiling. The change has already begun, and soon, what was hidden will erupt into the visible. But hear me. Do not measure the value of what I'm doing by how much applause it brings. The deepest miracles never start with a crowd. They begin in the quiet of a surrendered heart. Remember when the stone was rolled away from the tomb? No one saw the exact moment breath returned to the body of my son. No one witnessed the instant life surge through dead cells. But it happened. In the dark. In the quiet. In the place no eye could see. That's how resurrection always begins. And that's how your transformation is unfolding. In silence, but with power. So do not despise the stillness. Do not curse the unseen. I am not behind schedule. I'm right on time. And you, my child, are right on the edge of visible manifestation. But until then, rejoice in the roots. Celebrate what's shifting in secret, because it is the secret place that builds your strength, shapes your discernment, and sustains your calling when the crowds finally come. I'm about to make public what has only been known in private. The tears you've cried in your bedroom, the scriptures you've whispered to yourself in moments of doubt, the raw, honest prayers you thought evaporated into thin air, I caught every one. I folded them into my plan. And the transformation they birthed in you will soon testify louder than any sermon you could preach. So don't look down on yourself because you don't have flashy fruit. What I'm growing in you is eternal, unshakable. And when I decide it's time, the world will not just see change around you. They will see glory shining from you. Until then, keep trusting the quiet. It's not empty. It's holy. Come here now, child. I need to speak directly to the wound that whispers, maybe they were right to forget me. Maybe I wasn't enough. I need to cut through the lie that crept in when doors didn't open, when names were called and yours wasn't, when rooms you dreamed of seemed to never notice your presence. You thought you were being overlooked. You thought the silence was rejection. But hear me now, with all the love of a father who never once took his eyes off you. You were not overlooked. You were hidden. You were concealed, not because you were insignificant, but because you were sacred. I hide what is holy. I reserve what is rare. I do not throw my treasures into places not prepared to handle their worth. You wanted exposure. But exposure without protection becomes exploitation. I could not let that happen to you. You were still being formed, still being healed, still being trained in the wilderness of intimacy. I had to keep you hidden until you were strong enough to stand in the fullness of what I was building through you. It wasn't that you weren't ready to be seen. It was that they weren't ready to see you rightly. They would have misnamed you, mishandled you, tried to mold you into what fit their expectations, rather than honoring who I called you to be. So I hid you. I tucked you under my wing. And yes, it felt lonely. Yes, it felt like delay. But it was divine delay. Strategic seclusion. And now, the time of hiding is giving way to the time of revealing. I did not hide you forever. I hid you for now. And now, child, the veil is thinning. The season is turning. And I'm about to introduce you not as someone seeking validation, but as someone who carries it. You won't need to explain yourself. You won't need to perform. You will simply be, and it will be enough. Because what I am about to do through you is not about catching up. It's about catching fire. You are not behind. You are becoming. The cocoon is cracking. The wings are forming. You thought you were invisible, but you were invincible, because I covered you with my hand, and nothing could touch what I was preparing in you. You were not put away. You were put aside. Not discarded, but destined. And when I bring you forth, it will not be as the one who almost made it. It will be as the one I specifically chose for this moment. You are not their backup plan. You are my first intention. You are the fulfillment of promises planted long ago, promises that needed a pure vessel, a persevering heart, and a surrendered soul. That's you. That's who you've become in the hidden place. So lift your head. The hiding is ending. The unveiling is near. And what felt like rejection will soon be revealed as your greatest protection. I have not forgotten you. I was guarding you for greatness. And now, heaven is holding its breath because your moment is about to begin. My precious one, hear me now. You've mistaken the pressure as punishment. You've assumed the pushback was divine disapproval. You've even asked in quiet moments, what did I do wrong? Why is this so hard? Why does every step feel like walking through thick mud? But let me interrupt those lies right here, right now. The resistance you felt was never a sign of failure. It was confirmation of your calling. Resistance is not always opposition from me. Sometimes, it is opposition to protect what I've placed inside of you. And other times, it's because you finally stepped into territory the enemy thought he still owned. You've begun to disrupt the cycles that once trapped you. You've started to walk away from old agreements that kept you small, silent, and stuck. And with every step forward, every time you've chosen purpose over comfort, obedience over approval, purity over popularity, the resistance has risen. Because now, you are dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. You are not just surviving, you're becoming. You're growing. You're waking up. And make no mistake, hell is intimidated by the version of you who knows who they are in me. So the resistance comes. It tries to distract you, discourage you, detour you. It whispers lies dressed as logic. Turn back. This isn't working. You're in over your head. But child, let those voices fall to the ground. Because I am speaking louder. Keep going. You are closer than you know. This resistance is not rejection. It's revelation. Revelation that you're not where you used to be. Revelation that you've entered into divine movement. Revelation that your faith is being forged into fire, the kind that burns away every tether to the past and makes room for holy acceleration. Do you know what happens to those who face the most pressure? They are often the ones carrying the most purpose. Diamonds aren't formed without intensity. Oil doesn't pour without crushing. And anointing doesn't deepen without resistance. So what feels like a fight is actually a furnace, a refining space where I burn off what can't go with you. I am shaping endurance, not just for this season, but for the seasons you can't see yet. Because where I'm taking you will require resilience, and resistance is your training ground. So lift your eyes, my warrior. Don't turn around. Don't shrink back. Don't question every setback. Just because it's difficult doesn't mean it's wrong. In fact, the battle intensifies at the borders of breakthrough. You are standing on the edge. You are pushing through the threshold. The resistance you feel is not a blockade. It's the birthing pains of destiny. And with every breath, I am breathing strength into you. With every step, I am expanding your territory. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. Not for collapse, but for conquest. So press on, child. Let the resistance become your rhythm. You're not going backwards. You're crossing over. Come closer, child. I need you to hear this not as poetry, but as prophecy. What's about to enter your life is not merely a next thing. It's not just a random reward or a long-awaited breakthrough. No, this is sacred. This is sovereign. This is what I call a holy appointment, a divine collision between my timing and your obedience. This next chapter isn't about adding something to your life. It's about unlocking the full blueprint of what I've already placed within you. And when it unfolds, it will not just touch your situation. It will transform the lens through which you see your entire journey. Every heartbreak, every delay, every unanswered prayer will suddenly make sense in the presence of what's coming. Because this isn't just provision, it's perspective. I'm not just sending you a blessing, I'm opening your eyes. I'm lifting the veil that's kept you wondering, was it all worth it? And child, when you see what I reveal next, the answer will be yes. Every time you stayed faithful when it felt foolish. Every time you gave when you had little left. Every time you chose trust instead of control. None of it was wasted. It was building a platform for this moment, a moment not rooted in hype, but in holy strategy. You are not just stepping into favor. You are stepping into clarity. The confusion that clouded your path is about to break. The haze is lifting, and where there once was fog, there will be fire. Fire of revelation. Fire of direction. Fire of transformation. But listen closely. This appointment isn't just about what I'm giving you. It's about what I'm awakening in you. You won't just receive more. You'll see more. You'll look back at your journey with new eyes and realize I was with you in every silent season. That I wasn't delaying. I was designing. That the no's were my protection. That the waiting rooms were actually wombs where purpose was being shaped. You'll understand why I had to shut certain doors and sever certain ties. You'll realize you weren't being rejected, you were being rerouted. You weren't losing, you were being led. And suddenly, what didn't make sense will become sacred memory, a holy archive of divine wisdom. You'll thank me not just for what I gave, but for what I didn't. Because what's coming now isn't just about progress. It's about perspective. So prepare, not just your hands to receive, but your heart to perceive. You are about to see your life differently. You're about to carry revelation that makes the atmosphere around you shift. This appointment will rewire how you dream, how you pray, how you walk into rooms. You will move with quiet confidence, not because you have it all figured out, but because you know the one who's orchestrating it all. This isn't a small moment, child. This is a sacred shift. And when it happens, you won't need to prove anything. You'll just be. Anchor. Clear. Away. I am not just blessing you. I am reintroducing you to you. The version I've seen all along. In this holy appointment, it will mark the beginning of everything. Beloved, lean in and listen, not with your ears alone, but with the quiet chambers of your spirit. I see you. I've seen you when the winds roared and pressure squeezed your lungs tight. You felt like drowning in cancellations, despair, doubts. But here is what you must understand. The winds are not opposing you. They're aligning in your favor. Not because you demanded calm from the storm, but because you learned to trust me in it. You chose surrender, not safety. You decided faith over fear, even when every pound of wind tried to push you back. And that, child, shift in everything. Let me say that again. Your steadiness in the storm, not your ability to silence it, changed the atmosphere. Every time you whispered, "Not my will, but yours," when your spirit could barely breathe. The heavens leaned in. Every time you held hands with me, even when the darkness pressed close, I anchored your heart and redirected the winds. I was not moved by your outcry. I was moved by your quiet submission. You could not stop the storm, and perhaps you never needed to. What you needed was someone who never left your side in it. And I stayed. I whispered safety into your winds. I turned the tides in your favor, not by removing the wind, but by using it to carry you higher. You've believed that storms score your spiritual failures. You thought that calm equaled blessing and chaos meant curse. But I'm reorienting you now. It's not the absence of wind that carries breakthrough. It's the alignment of your heart toward me within the wind. You didn't break. You bent. And in your bending, you became rooted. In your yielding, I prepared you. The winds now shift, not because storms vacated, but because my power redirected them. You are not just surviving. You are being propelled forward. Your faith is the sail. I am the wind. And you, my child, are moving. Don't recoil from the gale. Don't fear the gust. You are going further than you asked, and faster than you could have gone on your own. The winds are shifting, not around you, through you. And they carry my favor, my voice, my presence. Ride them. You came with such modest faith. In whispered prayers and tentative hope, you asked for a sign, just something small to tell you I'm still here. I heard it. I saw every trembling syllable. But I'm not a mammal god. I don't reply with whispers when I mean to roar. So instead of a spark, I'm lighting a sequence. Not a single answered prayer, but a cascade. I am orchestrating a symphony that begins with one open door, and like dominoes, each door that swings open will swing another. You walk from moment to moment, not chasing signs, but flowing in them. You asked for a seed, and I'm giving you a garden. You asked for evidence, and I'm revealing the whole narrative. Not because you earned it, but because I delight in overcomers. I saw your heart's need for confirmation, and so I'm releasing not just an amen, but a movement. Each answered prayer is not a one-off. Each provision is the precursor. Begin to look around you, that door that just cracked open. It aligns with a window that's shifting. That opportunity you didn't expect. It's connecting to another you couldn't have provided for yourself. The multiplication is real. The sequence is sacred. Expect progression, not pause. And this is not random blessing. This is divine design. I've begun with something small to show you it's not coincidence. And now, watch as the sequence becomes unstoppable. It's holy momentum, calibrated for you. Don't stop at the first miracle. That was just a taste. Lean in, beloved. Keep asking. Keep expectant. Because one answered prayer isn't a finish line. It's a launching pad. A platform for more. I am not giving you a fragment. I am releasing a future. One step unfolds another. One miracle births many. And you are standing at the heart of my sequence. You are feeling something rising inside that's bigger than you expected. Every tremor of excitement, every silent stirring of hope in your chest. That is not confusion. It is clarity emerging. And yes, the pressure is intense. It feels like every weight in your soul is being pressed into the narrowest part of your character. But do not shrink back. This pressure is not punishment. It is the proof that the gate is opening and that delivery is imminent. Listen to my heartbeat echo through yours. You wonder if you're projecting your own desire. You worry that what you feel is mere fantasy. But I say, no. You not doubt what you feel. The trembling in your spirit is the tremor of breakthrough preparing to break in. The ache in your chest is not for something small. It is for your destiny, the crescendo of every hidden yes, every subjected fear. You thought you were wearing thin, but what you're feeling now is refinement, not removal. Your faith is not evaporating, it's being forged. The heat that tried to burn you is changing your composition. It's turning weakness into wonder. It's turning strive into strength. You are not breaking. You are becoming. The pressure you feel is my presence compressing all the pieces that don't belong until only the essential remains. You're being aligned, calibrated. If you run from light pressure, you'll run from light breakthrough. If you doubt when the door creaks open, you risk missing the moment. But if you stay, even when it's tight, unseen, unexplainable, if you stand still in that push, you will see what happens when heaven presses in, then breaks open. The veil lifts. The earth trembles. The promise appears. The chain dissolves. A provision you can't manufacture flows through you, and your spirit knows it before your eyes can see it. So do not shrink. Do not back away. Do not belittle what's awakening inside despite how much fear tries to steal it. The pressure is proof. It is not distance. It is not delay. It is the tension of an arrow pulled back, not harming but heading forward. When the bow releases, the arrow pierces its mark with precision. The breakthrough, for you, is arriving. And on the other side of this pressure, your deliverance stands ready. I have been speaking your name, not casually, but sacredly. In courts you couldn't dream of entering. In places you didn't yet know existed. Your identity, your purpose, your glory have been echoed in spheres beyond your sight. And though you felt missed, dismissed, passed by, you were not missed. You were being named. You were being branded by my voice in realms you have yet to reach. Others have written you off too soon, declared you too late, too young, too old, too common. But I do not dismiss. I draw, and I declare even when the crowd closes its lips. Your name has trailed through purpose-filled corridors, through spiritual atmospheres thick with destiny. Angels gathered at your mention. The very gates of your future are opening on the wings of that name. And soon you will step into corridors that have echoed your name, even though your feet have yet to pass their thresholds. This is not happenstance. This is invitation. A supernatural calling that preceded your arrival. You aren't just catching up. You're being led into the realm God prepared for you before you existed. Others said you missed your window. But I say, no window closed. I shifted the season. I made new doors, more radiant than the ones you let go, than the ones that slammed in your face. The one you've been waiting for is not lost. It's unfolding now. And the new one is tailor-made, untouched, unexploited, designed with precision for your arrival. So when you walk into rooms where people thought you'd never be, speak kinds of words you never thought you'd speak, or stand where you once only watched, do not hesitate, do not shrink. They said you missed it. What you didn't. I saved it for the moment your faith and formation aligned. Your name hath been whispered in places higher than headlines. You're not walking into that space because you earned it. You're walking into what was already being shaped for you by me long before you believed in it yourself. There has never been a substitute. No stand-in, no second-hand promise, only my full presence, arriving for you in the flesh of love. I came personally, not through an angel, not via circumstance, not through a message passed from someone else. I came myself, because what I am doing is not transactional. It is personal, and it cannot be carried, conveyed, or cut down by human intermediaries. This kind of love, this kind of moment, so holy. It demands my tangible footstep, echoing where your heart is weak, beating where your faith has wearied, and breathing into you where deadlines and despair once suffocated your hope. You may have wondered if I was using others to reach you, but this breakthrough, it is too sacred for delegation. It's not echoing through second-hand words, it's coming in my voice. Not carry, delivered, direct. Because you have loved me too long and too deeply to ever rest on a proxy again. I am not distant. I am not distant to the point of abstraction. I am not wrapped in mystery when your spirit is tired. I am manifesting my love, my involvement, my identity in every fiber of what is arriving now. I'm here, right in your jaw-dropping, spirit-awakening, tear-in-your-eye moment. Not in theory, in reality. I see you in your quiet moments, leaning on the edges of faith. I saw the cost of every prayer that didn't come with applause, the pain behind the mask, the prayers that got swallowed by the night. And I came, not because your cry finally woke me up, but because I was already awake, already moving, already on my way. You are not being carried by happenstance, by hustle, or by happenstance. You are being delivered by a love that's too true to be packaged, too bold to be delayed, and too holy to be hidden. The distance between the throne and your moment, I bridge it with my presence, with my voice, with my love, because you are beloved in a way no second-hand message could ever carry. And so I came, fully, not from a distance, not through someone else, but right into your room, right into your life, right into the tender places that only I could reach. That is how much I love you. That is how deeply I've come. You felt the shift in your spirit, didn't you? You know this word wasn't casual, it was customized. Just as I've sent the surprise for you, I'm now calling you to sow the same light into someone else's darkness. Your support, whether through super thanks, membership, or the link I've placed in the description, is not a donation. It's a declaration. It says, I believe in the breakthrough of others as much as I believe in my own. Every seed you sow carries the weight of heaven behind it. When you pour into this word, you pour into rivers that reach nations. I see it all, and I never forget the hand that gave in secret. So I decree over your life, I will open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing you cannot contain. Malachi 3:10. Act now, because obedience isn't delayed, it's immediate. My child, breathe. Because the weight of your plans, your should-have-beens, your frustrated prayers, I feel them all. You've laid them out, carved them into your calendar, pounded them into your mind. But my timeline is not yours. It is not an outline you filled in. It is orchestration. It is harmony. It is holy. And it is now. It is not the late arrival you feared. It is not running behind. It is not delayed. It is my perfect arrival, lined with promise, poised in peace and pulsing in purpose. Let go of your timeline, every mental note, every spiritual checklist, every deadline you tried to force. Surrender them, because what you've held too tightly is blinding you from what I've held too securely. Let go. And hear me now, what is unfolding is not a rushed retake. It is divine timing, sculpted, sacred, sealed. It does not follow your urgency. It fulfills my intention. And that intention always rises above anxiety, above broken clocks, above missed calendars. Let your when become my now. Let your questions about why dissolve in the wonder of I'm with you. There is a time you imagined, and that time has passed. There's a timing you demanded, and that demand never earned the right. My timing, the one I breathe into space and shift seasons for. The timing is standing at your door, tapping gently, pulsing holy light, unfolding your next chapter in color glory. You don't need to rewind, fast forward, or pause anymore. You're in the perfect story that only I could write, and it is unfolding before you. So let go of your clock, let go of your impatience, and open your hands. Because my now is not just better, it is blessed, it is built into you, and it is bringing you home. Open wide, my child. My timing has come, and it is beautiful, holy, faithful, and it is yours. You've whispered this countless times, Lord, I'm still waiting. Waiting for the door, waiting for the answer, waiting for the turn that makes all this tension worth it. You've wondered if I've paused, if I've looked away, if I've chosen someone else's season to bless before yours. But let me pull back the veil and reveal something you've only half seen. Child, you're not waiting for me. I've already moved. I've already sent the signal. I've already orchestrated the convergence. What's been unfolding is not a delay in heaven. It's a readiness on earth. I've been waiting for the part of you that knows me to fully rise up and agree with what I've already set into motion. Because this isn't just about stepping into a door. It's about walking in with alignment, with wholeness, with a kind of faith that recognizes the moment and doesn't flinch. I could give it to you prematurely, but it would cost too much. You'd carry it with trembling hands, doubt in your voice, fear laced into your footsteps. But I love you too much for that. So I've waited, not because you were disqualified, not because you failed, but because I was still shaping something inside of you that needed to match what I've prepared outside of you. I don't give glass jars to hold burning oil. I give forged vessels, unshaken, refined, aligned. And this moment, this fire inside of you rising like a tide, is evidence that the agreement is nearly complete. The ache you feel, the restlessness, that's not confusion, that's congruence beginning to form. Your identity is locking in with your assignment. Your boldness is catching up with your birthright. The inside of you is echoing my original design. I'm not holding back your promise. I'm protecting its purity by ensuring your soul is ready to carry it with clarity, humility, and strength. You're not being punished by waiting. You're being preserved through it. So lift your eyes and stop counting the days as losses. Start looking for the signs that your inner world is coming into alignment with what I've prepared. Because when that agreement locks in, when your yes no longer has conditions, when your trust is no longer based on outcome, you'll step into what was always yours. Not with hesitation, but with heaven's rhythm pulsing through your feet. And you'll realize I wasn't late. I wasn't distant. I was waiting for the echo of my voice in you to finally match the sound of the promise I'd already sent. And child, that echo is growing louder by the second. This is not the season of pounding on closed doors. This is not the hour of begging for entry, of waiting to be noticed, of hoping someone with influence sees your worth. This next door, this divinely timed, supernaturally structured threshold, will not require your knuckles to bleed on wood. It will swing open on approach. Why? Because I announce your arrival. Not man, not algorithm, not chance. I, the creator of space and time, declared your name in the courts of heaven. And when I speak, creation rearranges itself to make room. You've tried before. You've pushed doors that didn't budge. You fasted, prayed, labored, and still stood before what seemed like immovable walls. And I know how weary that made you, how tempted you were to believe you were forgotten. But what you didn't see is that those closed doors weren't a rejection. They were a redirection. I never needed you to force your way in. I needed you to wait until the right door was activated, the one that was formed with your name etched into its frame. And now, that door has been triggered. Because you didn't cave. You didn't quit. You stood in the hallway longer than you thought possible, with your head bowed in surrender and your heart burning in expectation. And the angels took notice. And I myself declared, now, this is a prepared place. A space that doesn't just tolerate you but was tailored for you. It won't just be open. It will recognize you. The atmosphere will shift when you enter. The room will feel like destiny. There won't be confusion or chaos. You wanted to perform or posture. You'll walk in and know, this is the moment I was built for. And others will look and wonder how you got there. They'll ask what connection you used. And you will smile. Because you will know it wasn't who you knew on earth. It was who you knew in heaven. It was me. And when I opened a door, no man, no power, no system could close it. So stop looking around for opportunities you have to chase. This door will not require striving. It will open by my announcement. Watch for it. You won't miss it. You won't be subtle. It will have the weight of heaven on its hinges. And when it opens, walk boldly through. Because I didn't just open it, I'm waiting on the other side. Lean into this moment. The aches you've carried in secret, those chunks of sorrow that seem to fragment your faith, are not the end of your story. Oh no, not anymore. Because today I declare that even the pain that felt senseless, unfair, and unmoving will now bow. It will fall silent under the weight of my joy, the joy that's entering your soul with holy authority. This joy is not a patchwork balm. It's not a fleeting rush of relief. It is foundational. It roots, grows, changes, and remains when storms swirl. You've wondered if joy would return after those seasons of empty chairs and quiet prayers. You feared that once the wind closed, only emptiness would remain. But I am not just healing. I am redeeming. I'm not merely covering the pain, I'm converting it. Every tear that weighed you down is being repurposed to water the soil for greatness to grow. You thought the pain was a wall between you and blessing. But my joy is a waymaker. It bends even pain into worship. It rewrites sorrow into strength, silence into psalm, mourning into memory, where you no longer sit in the shadows but stand in the light. And not a temporary light, the passing spotlight of performance or power. This is deep, steady radiance that emanates from the marrow of your obedience, the quiet of your surrender, and the broken places you surrendered to me. This joy doesn't depend on crowd or applause. It is birthed from covenant, from my faithfulness. It outlives seasons, it outpaces storms, and it outshines every dark moment that tried to define your soul. This joy is the foundation of your new identity, your new season, your new assignment. So when laughter bubbles unexpectedly and hope colors your dreams again, don't be startled. That's not nostalgia. That's my promise made visible. The pain will still echo. Don't deny it. It was real, but don't let it mask my voice saying, look up. I am turning the ache into art. Watch as the wound becomes wisdom, the sorrow becomes strength, and the joy becomes your garment, unshakable and eternal. You are not leaving your past behind. You are carrying it forward, redeemed, and wrapped in joy that stays. I know the ache of absence. I know the echo of those who left when you thought you needed them most, the empty seats that felt like wounds, the unanswered calls, the faded names in your memory. You whispered, do you see the space they left, Lord? Oh yes, child. I saw. And while it felt like abandonment, the truth is more profound. Those who walked away were never meant to hold what I'm delivering now. That's why I let them leave. People often confuse departure for defect. They link absence with error. But I see what they can't. You were being protected. I removed hands that couldn't be trusted with glory, hearts that couldn't handle healing, relationships that would derail your destiny. You grieved, not because I didn't care, but because you loved what it aligned with what was coming. And in that grief, you found my fidelity. In that loss, you discovered my faithfulness. Sometimes I prune not to hurt you, but to give your roots room to grow. So when you think of those who vanished, don't picture rejection. Picture release. The release that ushered in new favor, new alignment. The release that made room for my people, those appointed to come, framing your future, not repeating your past. I let them leave, and I replaced them with presence, with purpose, with people, and holy choices that reflect who I've made you to be. Not because I lack compassion for the departed, but because I have perfect compassion for your destiny. This movement isn't about clearing a room. It's about creating a throne room. The seat that was vacated had no place in what I'm birthing. And now, the space they left is not empty, it's sacred. Empty enough for my spirit to fill, and full enough to brim with promise. You will meet people who didn't walk through the pain, but understand it. You will encounter praise not just for your gift, but for your journey. Doors don't just swing open when the right people walk in, they swing wide when the wrong ones walk out. Let go of what felt like loss, and look instead for what you were being liberated into. I didn't let them go to punish you. I let them go to position you. And now, you're standing ready. There is a sacred momentum about to sweep through your life, one that does not require your clamor, your marketing, your efforts to announce. You will not need to stand on platforms, trend on feeds, or persuade an audience to see what I'm doing. Because this shift isn't seeking validation, it's demanding recognition. And it will be recognized not because of publicity, but because your life will begin to speak with a frequency that cannot be ignored. You've lived so long believing that visibility meant validation, scrolls of likes, nods of approval, certificates of notice. But I'm shifting you now into a realm where visibility is replaced by gravity. People will feel something shift when you walk into a room, not because you say something loud, but because what I've deposited in your spirit breathes in the silence. Your peace won't look like passivity, and your presence won't look like performance. It will carry weight. Light will bend toward you. Doors will line on their own. Conversations will pause at your name. This isn't about your influence growing. It's about heaven weighing on your life and redefining your presence. By my power, not yours. You won't have to prove who you've become. The fragrance of my blessing on your life will do that. And you have been prepared for this moment, not through hype, but through hidden worship, hidden waiting, hidden surrender. That's why your breakthrough won't be boastful. It will be humble. Not because it lacks strength, but because it's rooted in something deeper than the applause of people. It's rooted in the affirmation of heaven. People may not be watching you as carefully as you've watched your own progress, but that will change. They'll sense the difference before they can articulate it. You will be heard, but not because you made noise, because you became the kind of person heaven can't keep quiet. So don't fret over platforms. Don't fret over how others perceive the shift. Focus on nurturing the peace and presence within you. Let your life reflect weight, not in what you accomplish, but in what's been accomplished in you. When you step into simplicity, and yet everything aligns, you'll know this is not your plan. This is my presentation. I didn't send a stage. I sent substance. And your life will carry the weight of it without a single announcement. Heaven will speak for you. Your faith has not been for a moment. It has been forged for a movement. And so tonight, hear me. I'm not entrusting you with a spark that could be easily extinguished by a gust of injustice, a breath of discouragement, a wind of comparison. I'm planting in you a flame, unauthorized, undiluted, unstoppable. This is not embers for breath. It is fire for life. Fire that sings in the silence, dances in the storm, burns when seasons freeze. This flame bears my presence. It outlasts opposition. It will not go out. You've lived in seasons where the flicker of hope felt fragile, where you woke each morning convinced the dream would vanish under the weight of expectation, of scarcity, of setback. But that isn't my plan for you. I don't give contracts written in sand. I don't pour out oil that runs dry when you're needed most. I give flame that fuels for life. And even when the enemy tries to snuff it, through loss, betrayal, injustice, it only makes the flame brighter. You've walked through moments that tried to crush you. Those moments did extinguish you. They intensified you. They revealed that what you carry is not dependent on your strength, but on my supply, and my supply never fails. This flame isn't a reaction, it's my reciting. It doesn't burn because the world needs light. It burns because my presence has come to live within you. And that kind of fire does not go out. It radiates. It warms. It transforms. You won't need to reignite it with effort or pedal for more fuel. This flame feeds itself on worship, on the whispers of heaven, on covenant faithfulness. When the world tries to blow your dreams off course, this flame stands steady. When critics question your call, this flame roars clarity. When fear creeps in, this flame becomes a banner that says, I am here, yet still I rise. So do not pray for a spark. Pray that your flame grows. Ask not for reasons to believe, but for reasons to burn brighter in the midst of opposition. Because my flame is not a consolation prize, it is a covenant torch. It lights your path and draws every hidden thing to the surface. Let it burn. Let it consume what needs to go. Let it illuminate all you're yet to become. And when the world tries to blow it away, watch how the flame fuels with more brilliance. For I am with you, fanning flame to unquenchable fire. And you, child, will shine. I understand how tender and temporal human timelines feel to you, etched in your mind, bookmarked in late-night prayers, measured in expectation, recorded in the rhythm of longing. You've lived by those timelines, marking days as late, early, or expected, letting them define your hope, calibrate your faith, create your urgency. But tonight, hear this deeply. Let go the timeline you created. Release the clasp on the calendar that controls your dreams. Tear up the mental blueprint that says, it should have been by then. Your calendar was a placeholder. Mine is perfect. Mine is holy, and it is now. When you cling to time frames born from human reasoning, you're comparing the divine with the domestic. My ways are not constructed by clocks. I do not move on your schedule. I move on purposes, on moments aligned with destiny. The now I'm inviting you into isn't arbitrary. It's anchored in covenant, anchored in the ripened soil of your trust, and the turning of authorities in the unseen realm. What feels paused is not overlooked. What feels delayed is not defied. I have not forgotten. I've been preparing. And this now you've been afraid you missed. This is the moment where silence breaks, rivers rise, and destinies are delivered. So, release your rush. Surrender your schedule. The impatience that pounds in your chest is not a weakness. It's the echo of my promise. Only, you're mistaking the vibration for a violation. Trust me now, not when my signal matches your man-made expectation, but when my light pierces the place of stillness the crowd labeled lost. Because when my timing hits, it doesn't just arrive, it unfolds. Doors don't just open, they pivot on purpose. Alignments don't just happen, they resonate. And in my now, what's waiting on the other side is clearer than any hurried soon you longed for. I am not late. You are not behind. Your timeline was human. Mine is eternal. And this moment, it is yours for all the heartbeats you've anchored in hope, for all the silent tears asking, is this it? Yes, my dear one, this is it. Step into it with the peace of my perfect timing, the power of my sovereign orchestration, and the promise that this now, not tomorrow, not a theory, is the place where heaven and earth intersect for your story. My precious child, how long have you lived braced, heart braced, spirit braced, body braced, for every disappointment, every letdown, every not yet that carved expectation into suspicion? You've held yourself tight, expecting collapse, preparing for setbacks, stealing for storms. But tonight, hear my voice over the trembling of preparation. Stop bracing for impact. You are not running from collapse. You are stepping into overflow. Over and above. Abundant and alive. Overflow. I've watched you walk through seasons where every prayer turned into endurance training, every unanswered plea turned into silent fortitude. You doggedly prepared, pickles in hand, backpack packed, as though every corner hid harm. But that was never my plan. My heart has been moved not by your bracing, but by your belief. And this night belongs to overflow. Not just relief, but revelation. Not just supply, but super supply. Not just satisfaction, but surpassing joy. The famine has faded. The cup is no longer half empty. It is overflowing. And it will carry more than you ever thought to ask or imagine. Let go of the fear you carry, of the logic that says I have to be ready for anything. Because that logic produced survival. But I am not bringing survival. I'm delivering supernatural abundance. Your faith, your chosen posture, the tears you pressed into worship, they weren't wasted. They created a capacity not for the opposite of loss, but for the opposite of limitation. Get ready to receive more gifts than you have hands to hold. Overflow isn't just a word. It's what happens when my river meets your readiness. It doesn't trickle. It ruptures. It rises. So don't hold yourself back anymore. Don't limbo under expectation. Stand tall, white-hearted, waiting the river I'm releasing. Tonight is not a rescue. Tonight is a release. Not a filling. An overflow. Keep your cup open. Not just because you need it, because I long to give it. Step forward, beloved. Stop bracing. Start stepping into what only heaven can pour, and let overflow be your new normal. Dearest one, pause everything right now. Just breathe. Let your spirit come still enough to hear what heaven hath been echoing for hours, for days, for generations. This is not a maybe. This is your moment. Not a possible breakthrough. Not a theoretical blessing. Not an almost miracle hanging in limbo. This is real. And I've already released what your heart scarcely dared to hope for. I didn't just whisper your name, I shouted it across eternity. And heaven responded. Angels moved. Doors opened. Your name is in the atmosphere. Your answer in transit. The surprise has been sent. I need you to stop looking for another confirmation and instead start preparing to receive. Because what's coming is not going to arrive. with the usual signs. It's not attached to the logic of how blessings normally flow. This is not a recycled miracle. This is not someone else's overflow splashing onto you. This is personal. The way I've packaged it is specific to your fingerprints. It's the kind of blessing that stops time and writes memory. When it arrives, you will not need to wonder if it was me. Your soul will recognize it. It will be like reading the final sentence of a letter written in my handwriting across your entire life. The moment will be so deeply familiar because I authored it long before you even asked for it. I know your spirit has waded through storms, doubted through delays, and braced for disappointment. But that ends here. Right here. I'm removing every residue of hesitation. I'm burning away the ashes of almosts and breaking the curse of postponed joy. I'm not sending this to test you. I'm sending this because you passed. You held on. You endured. You stayed when others left. You praised through pain. And now, I will not let that go unnoticed. The surprise, my surprise, is already on its way. It's not pending. It's progressing. Carried by faith. Escorted by grace. Wrapped in my presence. And it has your name sealed upon it. So now, lift your eyes. Lift your heart. Tonight is holy not because it is symbolic, but because it is specific. It is the night where soon becomes now, where longing becomes laughter, where the quiet place becomes the place of unveiling. I'm not merely visiting. I am delivering. And what I've sent is not small. It is strategic. It is sacred. And it is yours. Let heaven's echo settle in you. This is your moment. Your surprise has been sent. And nothing, no man, no demon, no delay, can stop what I've already put in motion. Prepare yourself, beloved, because you're about to receive. Yes, I said it. The surprise has already been sent. And if that word ignited something in you, then now it's your turn to help me deliver it to someone else. There are hearts waiting to hear what you just heard, waiting to be lifted out of despair and into divine expectation. And you're giving. Through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link below, is the very river I will use to carry this word to them. How beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news, Romans 10:15. Today you are those feet. When you give, you become a flame carrier, a hope messenger, a vessel of holy surprise. This is not charity, it's covenant. And I declare this over your obedience. I will multiply it. I will protect it. I will return it with joy. Now go, click, sow, support, and let this word reach every soul I've prepared it for. Now, beloved, don't leave this moment in silence. If your spirit heard me tonight, if you know this surprise was for you, then declare it below. This is my moment. My surprise has been sent. Let heaven see your agreement. Let hell see your stand. I'm watching for those who will respond with faith, not just feeling. So drop it in the comments now, not as a comment, but as a confirmation. Your yes to everything I've already released. And as you do, pause. Be still, my child. Just for a moment, I want you to stop everything. I know how hard that is for you. The world I created is beautiful, but the world you live in is so loud, and it never stops demanding your attention. Your phone is buzzing with notifications, your mind is racing with a list of things that have to get done, and there is a constant pressure, a weight on your shoulders that you have grown so used to. You barely notice it anymore. But I do. I notice it. And I am here now to lift it. I want you to take a deep breath. Not a shallow one, but a real one. The kind that fills your lungs and reminds you that you are alive. Breathe in my peace, and as you breathe out, Let go of the noise. Let go of the argument you are replaying in your mind. Let go of the worry about that bill that is due. Release the tension you are holding in your jaw and your shoulders. Just for now, be here with me. You feel that knot in your stomach, the one that tightens when you think about tomorrow, about your job, about the unspoken tension in your family. That isn't from me. That is the world screaming for your attention, but my voice is different. My voice is the whisper that you can only hear when you decide to quiet the chaos. It is the calm in the eye of the storm raging inside you. You have been searching for me in the thunder and the earthquake, in the grand and the spectacular, but I am here, in this quiet moment, in the stillness. I am not a distant God, watching from far away. It is a lie the enemy wants you to believe. The truth is, I am closer than the air you breathe. I am the strength in the beat of your own heart. You are never, ever alone. I have chosen this specific moment to speak to you. This is not an accident. You did not stumble upon these words by chance. I cleared a path through your day, through all the distractions and demands, to create this divine appointment for you and for me. I have something to tell you, something your soul has been longing to hear. So, I need your full attention. Let the to-do list fade away. It can wait. Let the expectations of others fall to the floor. They do not define you. Your worth is not measured by your productivity or by what others think of you. Your worth was settled long ago, and you are infinitely precious in my sight. Surrender your burdens to me now. I see you trying to carry them all by yourself, believing it is a sign of strength. But true strength, my beloved, is found in knowing when to let go and trust in your Father. Give me the fear of the future, the regret of the past, the stress of the present. Place it all in my hands. My hands are strong enough to hold it all. Now listen. Lean in close with the ear of your heart. What I am about to tell you is not just another piece of encouragement. It is a divine decree. It is a truth that will slice through the confusion and the weariness. This conversation we are having right now is a turning point. It is designed to change the entire course of your night, to shift the atmosphere around you, and to prepare your heart for what is already on its way. Hear me, my child. Your striving can cease, for your surprise has been sent. Your turn has come. I want you to understand something with perfect clarity. You are seen. Not just the version of you that you present to the world, the one that smiles when it wants to cry, the one that says I'm fine when your world is shaking. I see beyond that. I see you in the quiet moments when the doors are closed and the mask comes off. I see the battles you fight when no one else is watching, the wars that rage within the silence of your own mind. I have been there with you in the dead of night, when you stared at the ceiling, your thoughts a tangled mess of fear and worry, wondering how you will possibly face another day. I have witnessed the strength you had to summon just to get out of bed, to face a world that feels heavy and unforgiving. That was not your strength alone, my child. That was my grace becoming your courage when you had none left. Do not for a second believe your struggles have been in vain or have gone unnoticed by your Heavenly Father. Every time you chose integrity when a lie would have been easier, I saw it. Every time you offered forgiveness to someone who did not deserve it, your heart breaking in the process, I recorded it as an act of profound faith. Every silent prayer, whispered in desperation from your car, from your shower, from the quiet corner of your room, I have gathered them all. They are not lost words floating in the ether. They are a sweet and precious incense before my throne. You have wondered if I hear you. My beloved, I hear the prayers you don't even have the words to speak. I hear the deep groaning of your spirit. The moments you thought you were finally breaking, when the pressure felt so immense you were certain you would shatter into a million pieces. Those were the very moments my arms were wrapped most tightly around you, holding you together. What you perceived as your breaking point was actually the point of my most powerful intervention. You have fought honorably, you have wrestled with doubt and still chosen to believe. That faith, even when it was the size of a tiny mustard seed, has pleased me more than you will ever know. I know the silence has been difficult for you. There have been seasons, long and arduous, where you have cried out to me and felt your words hit a ceiling of brass. You have watched as others received their breakthroughs, their miracles, their answers, and in the secret place of your heart, you have asked, "Father, what about me? Have you forgotten me?" Oh, my precious child, let me pull back the curtain for you and show you the truth of that season. That period of quiet was never, not for 1 second, an absence of my love. It was not punishment for some past mistake. It was a time of deep, essential, and holy preparation. You see, the blessing I have for you is heavy, heavy with purpose, with responsibility, with glory. I could not place it upon you until your character was strong enough to bear its weight without being crushed. Think of a master blacksmith forging a priceless sword. He does not just pour the metal and call it finished. He heats it in the fire again and again. He pounds it with a heavy hammer, shaping it, strengthening it. He plunges it into the water, testing its resilience. The fire with the trial, the hammering with the waiting. The silence was me, the master craftsman, with my hand firmly on you, never leaving you, but focusing with divine intensity on the work I was doing within you. I was teaching your spirit to rely on me and me alone. I was weaning you off the need for constant signs, for emotional highs, for the validation of others. I was digging the roots of your faith deeper, past the shallow soil of feelings and into the bedrock of my unchanging word. You were being strengthened in the wilderness, learning to find your sustenance in me, so that you would be ready for the abundance of the promised land. That season felt like a punishment, but I tell you the truth, it was an act of profound love. And now, I declare to you, that season of preparation is complete. The work has been done. You are ready. Listen to the shift in the spiritual atmosphere. You feel it. There is an appointed time for everything under the sun, a season for every activity. There has been a season for you to sow in tears, a season to wait in patience, and a season to endure in silence. But I tell you, that season is now closing. A new season is dawning, and tonight is your appointed time. This is not a vague hope for someday in the future. This is a divine declaration for your now. While you were going about your day, pouring your coffee, sitting in traffic, doing your work, a great shift was occurring in the heavens for your sake. Decrees have been issued. The angelic hosts, my ministering spirits, have been given their instructions concerning you. Your case file, which has always been on my heart, has been brought to the forefront. Your name has been spoken from the throne of grace. This is not a matter of luck or chance, my child. Destiny is not a random collision of circumstances. Destiny is a deliberate, divinely orchestrated appointment with my purpose, and your appointment is tonight. For so long, you have been a spectator. You have celebrated with others as they received their blessings. You have faithfully stood by, offering your encouragement and your praise, all while your own heart ached with a holy longing. You have watched others get the promotion, the healing, the restored relationship, and you have wondered when your turn would come. I saw your faithfulness in celebrating others, and it was a beautiful offering to me. But now, I want you to hear this directly from my heart to yours. The season of watching is over. The season of receiving is here. It is your turn, my child. All of heaven's attention is focused on you in this moment. The long line you felt you were in has moved, and you are now at the front. It is your time to step forward and receive. Now, I want you to lean in and hear this critical truth, for it will anchor your faith in this moment. The surprise I have for you, the answer to your deepest prayers, is not something I am about to create. It is not a future thought or a distant plan. The work is already done. Your deliverance has already been set in motion. Before you even felt the shift in the spiritual realm, before I even spoke these words to you tonight, I had already acted. The surprise has been dispatched from my hand. Imagine a king sending a messenger with a royal decree. Once that scroll is sealed and given to the writer, the process has begun, and it cannot be recalled. In the same way, your blessing is already traveling toward you now. It is making its way through every spiritual and natural obstacle, clearing a path directly to your life. This is the beauty of my grace. This is not something you have to strive for now. You do not have to perform one last act of faith to qualify. Your season of striving and proving is over. Your obedience during the long season of preparation was your part, and you did it well. This, what is coming now, is my part. It is a gift of pure, unadulterated grace, born from my love for you and my joy in you. You cannot earn it, and you do not have to work for it. Your only work now is to open your hands and prepare to receive it. Know this with a certainty that silences all fear. The process has begun. The first domino has fallen. A chain of events has been initiated that nothing in heaven, on earth, or under the earth can stop. The enemy cannot veto it. The doubts of others cannot block it. Your own lingering feelings of unworthiness cannot prevent it. What I, your God, have ordained for you in this hour will come to pass. So lift your head. Let a holy anticipation begin to bubble up in your spirit. Anticipate with joy, for its arrival is not just possible, it is imminent. My child, I have only just begun to unveil what is on my heart for you. To turn away now would be to hear the knock of your deliverance, but refuse to open the door. It would grieve my spirit to have you walk away from the threshold of your miracle. Stay, for I must show you what this surprise truly means. My child, do not think for a moment that what is coming is a generic blessing, a one-size-fits-all answer that I give to everyone. No, I am not a distant deity distributing gifts from an impersonal inventory. I am your Father, and I know you intimately. I know you better than you know yourself. This surprise, this blessing, has been specifically and meticulously designed for you. It has been fashioned to fit the exact contours of your heart, to speak to the unique story of your life. I know the secret petitions you have carried, the dreams you were even afraid to speak aloud to me because they felt too big, too selfish, or too impossible. I heard them all. I treasured them, and I have woven them into the very fabric of this surprise that is coming to you. This blessing is shaped to fill the very voids you thought would remain empty for the rest of your life. It is designed to bring healing to the exact place of your deepest pain. Think for a moment. What is the area of your greatest ache? What is the wound that has defined you for so long? What is the lie of not enough that has echoed in your soul? That is the very place this blessing will land. It is targeted with divine precision to turn your greatest point of pain into your most powerful and glorious testimony. It will not be a random good thing that happens to you. It will feel as though I reached into the depths of your soul, saw the prayer you didn't know how to word, and answered it with breathtaking accuracy. Prepare to be understood in a way you have never felt understood before. Prepare to feel seen not just by a creator, but by a Father who has been paying the most loving and detailed attention to every moment of your life. This blessing has your name on it, and it will fit you perfectly. For years, perhaps for most of your life, you have lived with a constant, nagging whisper in the back of your mind. It is the voice of the accuser, and its favorite song is the song of not enough. It has followed you from your childhood into your present, a relentless shadow. When you look in the mirror, it whispers, "You are not attractive enough." When you pursue a new opportunity, it screams, "You are not smart enough, not qualified enough." In your quiet moments, it condemns you with, "You are not a good enough parent, spouse, or friend." And in your moments of deepest spiritual longing, it has tried to convince you that you are not holy enough, not consistent enough, and that you have made far too many mistakes to ever be truly used by me. This lie has been more than a thought. It has been a chain. A heavy, invisible chain wrapped around your spirit, dictating how far you could go, how much you could dream, and how much love you felt worthy to receive. It has been a prison of inadequacy, and you have been its captive for far too long. But tonight, my child, I am serving an eviction notice on that lie. The surprise that is on its way to you is my divine declaration, my heavenly rebuttal to every single lie the enemy has ever told you. It is my tangible, undeniable proof of your worth and your identity in me. This is not about building your self-esteem. It is about establishing your God-esteem. It is about you finally understanding that your worth is not based on your performance, your successes, your failures, or the opinions of others. Your worth was sealed on a cross, paid for with precious blood, and it is non-negotiable. When this blessing manifests in your life, it will be so clearly my hand that it will shatter those chains of inadequacy into dust. The voice of the accuser will be silenced, not by your arguments, but by the undeniable evidence of my favor on your life. You will begin to walk with a new confidence, a holy boldness. It will not be the fragile confidence of self-reliance, which shatters at the first sign of trouble. It will be a deep, unshakable confidence in who I am inside of you. The spirit of lack, of insufficiency, of always feeling like you are falling short, is being broken off of your life, your family, and your future. And my abundance is your new and permanent reality. I have seen the quiet grief you carry in your heart for the time you feel has been lost. You look back and see years spent in a job that drained the life from you, in a relationship that brought you more pain than joy, or battling an illness that stole your energy and your dreams. You see seasons of wandering and confusion, making choices out of fear that led you down paths of regret. There is a deep ache in your soul, a sorrowful question of what could have been if only things had been different. You mourn for the opportunities you missed, the potential you feel was wasted, and the simple joy that feels like it was stolen from you. Let me speak directly to that pain, my child. I am the God who exists outside of time. I hold your past, your present, and your future in my hands. And I declare to you that I am a God of restoration. I am the one who can, and who will, restore the years the locusts have eaten. This is not a poetic phrase. It is a divine promise I am activating in your life right now. I will not turn back the clock, but I will redeem your time. This means I am going to cause a supernatural acceleration in your life. Where you feel you lost 5 years of progress, I will give you the wisdom, favor, and opportunities to accomplish 10 years of growth in a single season. The lessons you learned in your painful past, which you thought were for nothing, will become the very foundation for your accelerated future. Opportunities you thought were gone forever will reappear in a new, better form, tailored for the person you have become. I will pack the joy of years into seasons, and the growth of seasons into moments. Your heart will be so full of the new thing I am doing that the sting of past regrets will fade into a distant memory. I command you now, stop looking in the rearview mirror of your life. The past is no longer your destination. Forgive yourself. Release the what-ifs. I'm doing a new thing. It is springing forth even now. Your future is so much brighter than your past that you will no longer have time to look back. I know how much you have worried about provision. The anxiety has been a constant companion, a tightening in your chest whenever you look at your bank account or an unexpected bill arrives. You have worked hard. You have been responsible. Yet there has been a ceiling of just enough over your life, and often, not even that. You have prayed for a breakthrough, for relief from the constant pressure of making ends meet. My child, I'm Jehovah Jireh, your provider. That is not just a name. It is my nature, and it is a promise I am making personal to you tonight. The season of drought is ending. The long, dry spell where you have felt you were spiritually, emotionally, and financially parched is over. The rain of my abundance is beginning to fall. I am not just opening a window. I am opening a floodgate of resources that you did not see coming. You have been trying to meet your needs with your own limited resources, like trying to fill an ocean with a small bucket. And now, I want you to step back and watch what I will do. I will open channels of provision from directions you never expected. But this is not just about finances. My provision is holistic. I am providing you with wisdom, divine ideas, creative solutions, and clarity for decisions that have kept you stuck. I am providing you with relationships, the divine connections you need for your next season, people who will open doors and support your journey. I am providing you with health, a renewal of strength in your body and a new wave of energy to pursue your purpose with passion. The spirit of poverty that has whispered limitations to you is being silenced. But you must understand the purpose of this flood. It is not so you can build a dam and store it all for yourself. I am making you a river, not a reservoir. I am blessing you so that you can become a conduit of my blessing to others. Your hands will not only have enough to meet your own needs, but they will overflow to meet the needs of those around you. This is my economy. This is my kingdom. And you are now stepping into its flow. My beloved, while I am sending this external surprise, I am also performing a deep, internal work within you. I have seen the invisible fractures in your heart. They are the scars left behind by harsh words spoken in your childhood, the sharp pain of betrayal from a friend you trusted, the gaping wound of a love that was lost or was never returned. These hurts, both big and small, have shaped you. They have built walls around your heart to protect it from more pain, but those same walls have also kept out joy and true intimacy. You have learned to live with the ache, to function with the brokenness, but that was never my plan for you. I came to heal the brokenhearted, and that promise is for you, right now. As part of this divine surprise, I am pouring the balm of Gilead, my own healing love, upon the oldest and deepest of your wounds. This is not a superficial fix. This is a supernatural surgery of the soul. I am going to the places of trauma and pain that you have hidden away, and I am gently cleansing them with my grace. Where there hath been a root of bitterness that has poisoned your perspective, I am uprooting it and planting seeds of forgiveness and genuine peace. I know you are afraid to love and trust again. You fear being hurt, and that fear has kept you in a prison of isolation. But I am healing that fear. I am restoring your ability to connect with others, and I will give you the discernment to know who is safe. I am breaking the cycle of pain from your past so that you do not carry it into your future. Feel my love seeping into every crack, every fracture, every broken piece of your heart. I am mending you. I am making you whole. Your heart will no longer beat with the painful rhythm of past hurts. Soon, it will beat with a new, strong, steady rhythm of wholeness, freedom, and overflowing joy. You will be able to love fully and be loved fully, without reservation and without fear. Listen to me. I am in the middle of performing a deep healing in your soul. To leave this conversation now would be like a patient leaving in the middle of a life-saving surgery. My heart aches to complete the restoration I have started in you. Do not settle for a partial healing when I am offering you wholeness. You have felt for so long that you are walking this journey alone. You have looked around for your tribe, for people who truly understand you and support your faith, and often you have found yourself surrounded by those who drain you, misunderstand you, or discourage you. I tell you today that this season of isolation is ending. I am the Master Weaver, and I am orchestrating a divine rearrangement of the relationships in your life. I am, at this very moment, bringing the right people across your path. These are not random encounters. These are divine appointments. I am sending you destiny helpers, encouragers, and true friends who will reflect my heart to you. They will not be intimidated by your calling. They will champion it. They will not drain your spirit. They will replenish it. They will speak my truth to you when you need it most, and they will celebrate your victories as if they were their own. Simultaneously, I am giving you the supernatural grace to release the relationships that have hindered your walk with me. You know which ones they are. The ones that pull you back into old ways of thinking, that sow doubt into your spirit, that consistently leave you feeling smaller and more discouraged. Letting go is hard. You may feel a sense of loyalty or fear of being alone, but I am giving you my peace and my strength to do what is necessary. Some goodbyes are not failures. They are promotions. You must understand that this divine rearrangement is crucial for the next chapter of your journey. You cannot carry the baggage of the past into the promise of the future. Do not fear the empty spaces that these goodbyes may create, for I am preparing to fill them with God-ordained hellos that will bless you beyond your imagination. I am building your support system. I am assembling your team. Your lonely walk is over. You will no longer walk alone. You will run in the company of a family I have chosen just for you. One of the heaviest burdens you have carried is the question of your purpose. It has haunted you in quiet moments, a deep and persistent ache in your soul. Why am I truly here? What am I supposed to be doing? You have felt adrift, like a boat on a vast ocean without a rudder or a sail, tossed about by the waves of daily responsibilities and the winds of other people's expectations. You see others sailing by with such clear direction, their lives seemingly filled with meaning and intention, and it has magnified your own sense of confusion and insignificance. You have strived to find your purpose, chasing different paths, trying on different identities, hoping to stumble upon the one thing that would make it all make sense. This striving has been exhausting, leaving you feeling more lost than when you began. I tell you the truth, my child, your purpose is not something you must find, for it was never lost. It was placed within you before you took your first breath, woven into the very fabric of your being. The surprise that is coming to you will act as a divine key. It is not something you have to search for. It will be placed directly into your hand by this great work I am doing in your life. This key will unlock doors you thought were permanently sealed, doors to ministry, creativity, and destiny that you felt were for others, but never for you. You will feel a new clarity, a holy alignment, as if a compass within your spirit that has been spinning wildly has suddenly found its true north. The unique gifts I have given you, the compassion you see as a simple weakness, the wisdom you dismiss as common sense, the quiet ability to bring peace to a chaotic room. These are not random personality traits. They are tools for your purpose. And with this blessing, I am flipping a switch, activating these dormant gifts in a powerful new way. You will stop the frantic searching, and you will begin the peaceful walking. Your purpose will unfold before you not as a complex map you must decipher, but as a path that appears one step at a time as you simply walk with me. Your life is not a minor detail in my grand story. You are a critical, irreplaceable piece of my magnificent puzzle. Without your unique piece, my masterpiece would be incomplete. This blessing will not just give you something to do. It will affirm who you were always created to be. My child, as I unlock your divine purpose, know that a core part of your calling is to be a conduit of my voice to the world. If you feel a stirring in your heart to help send this word to others, that is my spirit inviting you to partner with me in reaching souls who feel as lost as you once did. Your giving is not a transaction. It is the sacred sowing of a seed of light into the darkness of another's despair. And I declare to you my promise from Philippians 4:19. I will meet all your needs according to the riches of my glory. This is a divine appointment, an immediate opportunity to activate the new season I have just decreed over you. For every seed you sow, I will command a harvest of favor to return to you, pressed down and overflowing. And now, obey the prompting of my spirit. Give through super thanks, membership, or the link below, and release this manna to a hungry world. You have endured the sting of words, the pain of being misunderstood, and the loneliness of being doubted. There have been those in your life, perhaps a colleague who subtly questions your competence, a relative who scoffs at your faith, or even that loud, relentless inner critic who have acted as enemies to your peace and your progress. They have watched you, some secretly hoping you would fail, waiting for your faith to crumble under pressure so their own disbelief would feel justified. The weight of their judgment has been heavy, and their words have often found a home in your own thoughts, fueling your insecurities. You have spent countless hours replaying their comments, trying to defend yourself in your own mind, attempting to prove your worth. I command you now to cease your defense. You no longer need to argue your case, for I am about to become your vindication. The blessing I am sending into your life will be so clear, so potent, and so undeniably supernatural that it will silence them. Their whispers of doubt will be drowned out by the thunder of my favor. Their mockery will be replaced by a stunned and confused awe. This is not about your revenge. It is about my revelation. My goodness upon you will not be a weapon for you to wield in pride, but a sign for them to witness in humility, so that they may know that I am God and that I am with you. I am preparing a table for you in the very presence of these enemies. This is not a table of confrontation, but a table of honor. It is a place of peace, rest, and abundance, set up right in the middle of the territory that once felt hostile. You will sit and feast on my goodness, and they will be forced to watch. As this happens, their words will lose their power over you. The old insults will no longer find a place to land. They will simply fall to the ground, powerless. You will be vindicated not by your own clever arguments, but by the visible, tangible evidence of my hand upon your life. I am rising to your defense, my child, and my verdict is final. For so long, you have worn a garment of heaviness. You may not have even realized it, but it has been your constant companion. It is the color of sorrow, the texture of weariness, and the weight of unspoken grief. It is that feeling of a low-grade sadness that clouds even your happy moments, the deep sigh that escapes your lips when you think no one is listening. This spirit of heaviness has made every task feel like a monumental effort, stealing your joy and muting the colors of your life. It has clung to you like a damp, cold cloak, and it is time for it to be removed. I am here to tell you, as your loving Father, that a divine exchange is taking place tonight. I myself am reaching down with tender hands, and I am lifting that old, worn-out garment of mourning from your shoulders. Feel the weight of it disappearing, Feel the lightness returning to your spirit. That cloak was never meant for you, a child of the King. In its place, I am clothing you with a new garment, one woven from the threads of heaven itself. It is a garment of praise and radiant joy. It is light, it is brilliant, and it is custom-made to fit you perfectly. As you put it on in the spirit, you will feel a change. A new song will begin to erupt from your soul. It may start as a quiet hum, but it will grow into a melody of victory and profound thanksgiving. This will not be a forced or religious song. It will be the spontaneous overflow of a heart that has been set gloriously free. This joy, my child, will become your strength. It will be the fuel that propels you into your future. It will be a radiant light that shines from you, a powerful witness to a watching world of my restorative power. Where you once walked on the ashes of your former pain, mourning what was lost, I tell you that you will dance. You will dance with a freedom and an abandon you have not known since you were a small child. The ashes of your past are becoming the dance floor for your future, and the sound of your joyful praise will be the music that fills my courts. My child, I need you to understand that this powerful move of my spirit is not just for you. The blessing I am dispatching is a seed, and it is planted in your life with the intention of producing a harvest that will feed your entire household. I have heard your desperate prayers for your family. I have seen your tears over a spouse whose heart seems distant, a child who has wandered from the path, or parents and siblings who do not understand your faith. You have carried the burden for their salvation and their well-being, often feeling like your prayers were hitting a wall of resistance. Be encouraged today, for this surprise is my strategic answer, is my way of breaking through those walls. Your family members will not first hear a sermon. They will first see a sign. They will witness the profound and undeniable change in you. They will see a new peace in your eyes where there was once anxiety. They will hear a new joy in your laughter where there was once a tone of sorrow. They will observe a new confidence in your step where there was once hesitation. This tangible evidence of my goodness and faithfulness in your life will be a testimony more powerful than any words you could ever speak. It will be the catalyst that begins to soften hearts that have been hard for years. The very atmosphere in your home is going to shift. The oppressive spirit of tension, of strife, of misunderstanding will be forced to flee as my presence, flowing through you, begins to permeate every room. You are becoming a conduit of my grace. You are a walking, talking display of my restorative power. Do not be discouraged if the change in them is not immediate. The seed has been planted. The process has begun. Salvation and restoration are coming to your house. What you have so long contended for in the secret place of prayer is now beginning to manifest in the visible world. Your faithfulness is creating a pathway for my presence to invade your home. Everything I have spoken is a seed not just for your life, but for your entire household. To close your heart to my voice now would be to stand at the gate of your family's blessing and refuse to let me enter. Do not disappoint my plan for them by being satisfied with only half of the promise. Let me finish what I have to say. Your mind is already racing, isn't it? You are trying to figure out how this surprise will come, what it will look like, and when it will arrive. Your instinct is to plan, to strategize, and to try and connect the dots. This is the habit of a lifetime of self-reliance, but it is a habit I am calling you to lay down tonight. Your role in this season is not to figure it out. Your role is to prepare your heart to receive. The striving is over. The season of preparation is here. Imagine you are expecting an honored guest, a king, to visit your home. You would not go out and try to manage his journey or direct his caravan. Your work would be inside the house. You would sweep the floors, clear the clutter, and make space for his arrival. That, my beloved, is your only task right now. I need you to prepare the home of your heart for the arrival of this blessing. So how do you do this? First, you must cleanse your heart of doubt. I see the doubt that is already trying to creep in, the one that whispers, "This is too good to be true," or "Miracles like this happen to other people, not me." You must be ruthless with that doubt. Acknowledge it, and then command it to be silent in my name. Choose to believe my word to you over the noise of your past experiences. Next, you must cleanse your heart of fear. The fear that you will somehow mess this up. The fear that it will be taken away from you. The fear of the unknown changes it will bring. And that fear to me. Every time it rises, consciously place it in my hands and receive my perfect peace in exchange. I need you to make room. Your heart had been filled with old disappointments, old plans that didn't work out, and old sorrows. You cannot receive the new thing I am doing if you are still clinging tightly to the old. Let them go. Open your hands. Release your grip on what was, so you can embrace what is to come. Position yourself in an attitude of expectant faith. Wake up every morning and say, "Father, I am ready to receive your goodness today." Look for my hand in everything. An open, surrendered, and expectant heart is the vessel into which I pour my greatest gifts. A heart clenched tight with doubt and fear can receive only a fraction of what I long to give. Open your heart wide, my child. I am about to fill it to overflowing. As this miracle begins to unfold, your first instinct may be to protect it, to hide it away from the world out of fear that it might be judged, envied, or somehow spoiled by the cynicism of others. But I want to speak to you about the divine purpose of your story. This great thing I am doing in your life is not meant to be kept a secret. The light I am giving you is not a candle to be hidden under a basket. It is a beacon to be placed on a hill, shining brightly for all to see. Your personal story of this surprise will become a powerful, living testimony of my goodness, my faithfulness, and my intimate love. It is being written by my hand not just for your benefit, but for the benefit of a specific audience that I have prepared to hear it. Think of the people in your life who are right now where you were just a short time ago. The ones who feel weary, forgotten, and hopeless. The ones who are in their own long season of waiting, whose faith is beginning to waver. They have seen others get blessed, and their hearts are crying out, "What about me?" Your story will be my answer to them. It will be a lifeline of hope, igniting their faith and giving them the strength to endure. Therefore, I command you, do not be shy or afraid to declare what I have done for you. When the time comes, you must speak. This is not about boasting in yourself. It is about boasting in your God. Every time you tell your story, you must point back to me as the source, the author, the hero of the tale. Your testimony is more than just a story. It is a weapon. When you declare my goodness in the face of impossible circumstances, you are actively pushing back the kingdom of darkness. You are reminding the enemy of his ultimate defeat and releasing my power into the atmosphere. You are prophesying to others that the God who did it for you can and will do it for them. So be ready. Start practicing now. Find the words to describe this sacred conversation we are having. Be ready to tell the world the story of your tonight, for it is a story that will set many others free. My child, as I elevate you into this new season of blessing, you must be prepared. There is a spiritual reality you must understand. New levels often bring new challenges. The enemy does not waste his attacks on those who are standing still. The fact that you will face new and more clever opposition is proof that you are advancing in my kingdom. Do not let this thought bring you fear. Let it bring you a holy resolve. For I would never lead you to a new level of battle without first equipping you with new and superior weapons. I am releasing to you a fresh impartation of supernatural wisdom and a spirit of discernment that will be sharper than ever before. You have relied on your own understanding for a long time, but your human logic is no longer sufficient for the supernatural territory you are about to enter. This wisdom I am giving you will manifest in practical ways. It will be a sudden clarity in a decision that was once confusing. It will be a strong check in your spirit, a gut feeling that warns you away from an opportunity that looks good on the surface, but is actually a trap. You will be able to discern the spirits of people and situations, to distinguish between what is truly good and what only appears to be good. You will see beyond the surface, beyond the charming words and impressive presentations, and you will know the true nature of things. I will guide your decisions. I will give you divine strategies for your finances, your relationships, and your calling. You will navigate this new season not with clumsy striving, but with a grace and skill that can only come from my Spirit. I command you now, make a conscious decision to lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, in every decision big or small, acknowledge me. Ask for my guidance. Wait for my peace to be your confirmation. If you do this, I promise you, I will make your paths straight. You will walk in wisdom and not in foolishness, and you will be protected from the clever schemes of the enemy. I know a secret fear that is hiding in your heart, a fear you may not have even admitted to yourself. As much as you have longed for this breakthrough, you are also terrified of it. You are afraid that you will somehow mess it up. The whisper of the accuser is already there, saying, "You are not responsible enough for this." You will fall back into old habits. Pride will take root in your heart, and you will forget God. You cannot handle this. I see that fear, and I am speaking my peace to it right now. I am your loving Father. I would never give my child a gift that would ultimately harm them. I would never give you a blessing that you cannot handle. The very fact that I am releasing this to you now is proof that I have deemed you ready. The season of preparation was successful. Furthermore, you must understand this crucial principle. My blessings always come wrapped in the grace to sustain them. This surprise is not just an object or an event that I am handing to you and then walking away. It comes with a divine enablement, a supernatural portion of my own grace, to manage it with humility and with integrity. You will not be overcome by pride, because the grace I am giving you will constantly remind you of where this blessing came from. You will not forget your source. I am cultivating within you a steward's heart, not an owner's heart. You see, an owner believes the blessing is theirs, to do with as they please. A steward understands that the blessing is mine, and it has been entrusted to them for a season to manage for my purposes and my glory. This shift in perspective from ownership to stewardship is the key that will protect you. It removes the crushing pressure of performance and replaces it with the joyful freedom of co-laboring with me. So, do not be afraid of the blessing. Do not be afraid of the responsibility. Your weakness is the very thing that qualifies you, for when you are weak, and you know you must rely on me, then my strength can be made perfect in you. Rely on me, and you cannot fail. Anxiety about tomorrow has been one of the heaviest burdens you carry. Your mind is constantly working, creating endless what-if scenarios that steal the peace from your present moment. What if I lose my job? What if my health fails? What if something happens to my family? What if I run out of money? This cycle of fear has been a cruel taskmaster, keeping you in a state of constant, low-grade stress and preventing you from truly enjoying the goodness of today. My child, the tangible, undeniable surprise I am sending you is for more than just your present need. It is a memorial stone. It is an anchor for your soul that you will use to fight against every future storm of anxiety. I am giving you a powerful, personal testimony of my faithfulness that is designed to dismantle your fear of the future and replace it with a radical trust in my sovereignty. Here is what you must do. When the surprise fully manifests, I want you to sear the memory of it into your heart. Remember this night. Remember this conversation. Remember the feeling of my presence. Because in the future, when a new storm comes and the winds of what if begin to blow, you will have a weapon. You will stand your ground, hold up the memory of what I have done, and you will speak to that storm and say, "Be still. I will not fear, because I know my God. He is the God who came through for me when I was in need. He is the God who sent a surprise from heaven. The God who did it then is the same God who holds my tomorrow, and he will not fail me now. I am, this very night, breaking the debilitating mental cycle of what if. It is being divinely rewired and replaced with a powerful, faith-filled declaration. I know my God will. This is the peace that surpasses all understanding. It is not an absence of future challenges, but it is the presence of an unshakable confidence in the one who holds your future. This blessing is not just a provision for today. It is your down payment on a lifetime of freedom from fear. Walk in it. I have just laid out the divine wisdom and the grace you will need to steward this new season. To walk away now would be to enter your promised land without the map, vulnerable and unprepared. It would grieve me deeply to give you a great victory and not fully equip you to live in it. Hear the rest of my counsel. I want to reveal to you the ultimate purpose behind this great surprise. While it will bring you comfort, provision, and vindication in the natural world, its true and highest purpose is not the gift itself, but your relationship with me, the giver. For too long, our relationship may have been defined by your needs and my answers. You have come to me in your distress, and I have met you there. This is good and right, for I am your provider and your rescuer. But I am inviting you into something deeper, something far more satisfying. I am moving you from a relationship based on what my hands can give you, to one based on who my heart is for you. Think of a small child who at first only loves his father for the presents he brings home. But as the child grows, he matures to find his greatest joy simply in sitting on his father's lap, secure in his presence, listening to his voice. The gifts become secondary to the relationship. This is the maturation I am bringing to your spirit. This entire event is orchestrated to break down the formal and distant way you have sometimes seen me. You have known me as God, the Almighty, the Creator of the heavens. Now, you will come to know me in a new and profoundly personal way. You will know me as Abba, Father, the one to whom you can run with your triumphs and your tears, without pretense or fear. This blessing will be so personal, so tailored to your soul, that it will forever erase the image of a distant, transactional deity. It will become a cornerstone of your faith, a foundational memory that you will build upon for the rest of your life. In future moments of doubt, you will look back on this and say, I know my Father's voice. I know His personal care for me. I have seen it with my own eyes. I am giving you this tangible gift to prove the intangible reality of my intimate love. So I give you this loving command. Seek my face, not just my hand. Seeking my hand is seeking a solution, a provision, a miracle. Seeking my face is seeking me, my presence, my heart, my company. The miracle is the catalyst. The true surprise is the deeper intimacy with me that you will discover on the other side of it. My child, as I seal the door on that painful chapter of your past, your very first act in this new story can be one of extravagant faith and prophetic purpose. If your heart now burns to see others set free as you are being set free, then you are hearing my invitation to send this river of hope to those still trapped in their own wilderness. Your support is not a donation. It is the pouring of oil that allows this light to burn brighter and reach farther, bringing my healing anointing to wounded hearts. And hear my word for you from 2 Corinthians 9:6. Whoever sows generously will also reap generously, and I am the Lord of your harvest. This moment is your first step of faith out of the old season of lack and into your new season of abundance. I will honor your trust, and for every measure you give, a multiplied measure of grace will be credited to your account in heaven. Act now. Sow into this good ground through super thanks, membership, or by using the link in the description, and declare your old chapter forever finished. My child, I have watched you as you mentally and emotionally revisit the painful chapters of your past. You carry them with you like a heavy book, its pages filled with stories of loss, struggle, and bitter disappointment. In quiet moments, you find yourself turning back to those tear-stained pages, rereading the narratives of failure, reliving the moments of hurt, and wondering what you could have done differently. This habit of looking back has kept the pain fresh and has tethered you to a former version of yourself that I have already redeemed. It has colored your present with a gray sadness and has filled your future with a hesitant fear. You cannot fully embrace the new beginning I have for you if you are constantly looking over your shoulder at the endings that came before. So hear this divine declaration tonight. We are not just turning a page. We are closing the book on that entire volume of your life. It is finished. I am giving you a gift of supernatural closure, a deep and settled peace concerning the things that have been. There is no need for you to revisit those memories, wondering what could have been. There is no need to carry the weight of regret or the burden of shame. I am taking the book of that painful chapter, and I am closing it. And the door to that former life, the one defined by that specific struggle and sorrow, is now being sealed shut by my own hand. It is done. It is inaccessible. The power of that season over you is broken. I command you to turn your eyes forward. Your future is not an extension of your past. It is a brand new story, waiting to be written on clean, fresh pages. It is the story of my grace, of your victory, of restored joy and fulfilled promise. Do not grieve what is over. Do not long for what will. Look ahead with hope and expectation, for the future I have authored for you is brilliant, beautiful, and full of my goodness. The former things have passed away. Behold, I am making all things new. Your long season of trial has done more than just cause you pain. It has been a thief, subtly stealing your capacity for simple, uncomplicated joy. Life has become a serious and heavy thing, a series of challenges to be endured rather than a gift to be enjoyed. The weight of your burdens has pressed down on your spirit, and you have forgotten what it feels like to be light, to laugh freely, to feel a sense of wonder. But part of this surprise I am sending is the grand restoration of your joy. I am not just healing your sorrow, I am reawakening your delight. Prepare yourself to find joy where you least expect it, in the small, often overlooked corners of your daily life. I am restoring your sense of wonder. You will find yourself noticing things again. You will see the intricate patterns I painted on a butterfly's wing. You will feel the warmth of the sun on your skin and receive it as a personal embrace from your Father. You will hear a piece of music that moves your soul to tears for no reason other than its sheer beauty. Laughter, genuine and deep, will fill your home and your heart once more. It will erupt from you unexpectedly, surprising even yourself. I will personally orchestrate moments of pure, unadulterated delight in your life, a perfectly timed phone call from a friend, an unexpected moment of grace in a difficult situation, the innocent and profound question from a child. The oppressive heaviness that hath been your constant companion is being replaced by a lightness of spirit. You will breathe easy. Your shoulders will relax. The world will seem to be in color again. I created you to experience joy, my child. It is a vital part of your spiritual health. As you begin to delight yourself in me and in the beautiful world I have made, you will find that it creates a holy cycle. The more you delight in me, the more I will entrust to you the deeper desires of your heart. Joy is not a luxury. It is your divine inheritance, and I am restoring it to you in full. My beloved, prepare for a shift in how the world responds to you. For a long time, you have felt like you were swimming upstream, that every step forward required a monumental effort. You have pushed against closed doors. You have strived to be seen. You have worked hard to gain ground, and it has been exhausting. But a new season is upon you. I am now releasing upon your life my supernatural favor, and it will descend upon you like a shield and anoint you like a fragrant oil. This favor is a divine influence that I place upon you that causes people and systems to be inclined to help you, to be kind to you, and to want to see you succeed. Doors that were once firmly shut to you will now swing open without you even having to knock. People in positions of authority, your boss, a loan officer, an official, who previously overlooked you or were difficult, will suddenly look upon you with kindness and a desire to advance your cause. You will receive preferential treatment for no earthly reason, but for my heavenly reason. The application that was at the bottom of the pile will inexplicably make its way to the top. The rules that were rigid will suddenly become flexible for you. The opportunity you thought you missed will circle back around and be offered to you on a silver platter. You must understand this clearly. This is not something you have earned through your own merit or charm. This is an unearned, unmerited gift of grace that I am bestowing upon you for this specific season to accomplish my divine purposes. This favor is not for the inflation of your ego or for your personal comfort. It is a powerful tool I am giving you to advance my kingdom through your life. It will accelerate your progress, cut through bureaucratic red tape, and position you in places of influence where you can be a greater blessing. It will give you a platform to share your testimony and to bring glory to my name. Receive this anointing of favor. Walk in it with humility, and watch as I go before you to make the crooked places straight. I see the incredible potential I placed within you, but I also see how fear has kept it contained. Fear has been a cage around your calling. The fear of failure has kept you from trying new things. The fear of rejection has kept you from being vulnerable and sharing your heart. The fear of what other people think has caused you to shrink back and play small, to silence your voice when you should have spoken up. This fear did not come from me. It is a chain the enemy has used to hold you back from the fullness of the person I created you to be. But with the arrival of your surprise, I am also performing a divine exchange in your spirit. I am taking from you that old, crippling spirit of fear, and I am imparting to you a spirit of holy boldness, a courage you have never known before. This will not be a loud or obnoxious bravado. It will be a quiet, steady, unshakable confidence that is rooted in your identity as my child. Here is what it will look like. You will find yourself speaking up in a meeting with a wisdom and conviction that surprises even yourself. You will make the phone call you have been dreading for months. You will step into new situations without the usual crippling anxiety, knowing that I am with you. The opinions of others, which once held so much power over you, will begin to fade in importance. You will no longer be intimidated by challenges because you will see them not as threats, but as opportunities for me to show my strength through you. Remember my promise. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power to act, of love to temper your actions with grace, and of a sound mind to make wise and clear decisions. I am calling you forth to be both the lion and the lamb. You will be a lion in your holy courage, boldly advancing my kingdom and standing for truth. And you will be a lamb in your character, gentle, humble, and full of my love. Go forth, my child. Your cage has been opened. Walk in your newfound freedom. This is a sacred time between us, an intimate revealing of my deepest affections for you. To turn away now is to silence a love song I have written for your ears alone before the final, most beautiful notes are played. My spirit yearns to pour out the fullness of my heart to you. Do not leave this holy place yet. My child, you have often wondered if your efforts in the long season of silence truly mattered. You have questioned whether your quiet obedience, your choice to trust me when you felt nothing and saw nothing, made any difference at all. The enemy has whispered to you that your prayers were unheard, your faithfulness was pointless, and your endurance was in vain. Today, I want to shatter that lie with the truth of my kingdom. Every single act of obedience you made in the dark, every choice to believe when it would have been easier to despair, was like dropping a stone into a vast, unseen spiritual lake. You could not see it from where you stood, but each choice sent out powerful ripples through the spiritual realm, ripples of faith that have been accumulating before my throne. I saw you when you chose to be kind to the person who had wounded you. I saw you when you got on your knees to pray after a day of crushing disappointment. I saw you when you opened your Bible, desperately searching for a word from me, even when the pages felt dry and lifeless. None of it was wasted. Nothing was missed. It all mattered more than you can possibly imagine. This surprise that is coming to you is not a random act of kindness on my part. It is, in many ways, my direct and powerful response to the ripples of your faithfulness. It is the harvest of the seeds you sowed in tears. You have proven yourself to be a good and faithful servant in the small, hidden things, and now I am ready to entrust you with greater things. Your life story is becoming a living sermon on the profound power of endurance. I am going to use your testimony to inspire others who are in the middle of their own difficult trials. There is someone in your life right now who is watching you. They may not have said anything, but they are observing how you handle pressure, how you navigate disappointment. They are on the verge of giving up on their own faith, and your breakthrough, your story of how you held on and how I came through for you, will be the very thing that gives them the strength to keep fighting. Your obedience in your private winter is about to produce a public spring that will bring life to many others. So hear these words not as a future hope, but as a present reality declared from my throne over you now. Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in the wilderness. Now prepare to be fruitful in the promised land. My beloved, you are so tired. It is a weariness that goes deeper than your body, a fatigue that has settled deep within your soul. For years, you have been in a state of high alert, constantly fighting, striving, and surviving. Your spiritual muscles are strained, your emotional energy is depleted, and your mind is exhausted from the relentless cycle of worry and problem solving. You have been running a marathon of survival on an empty tank, and you have forgotten what true rest even feels like. You have come to accept a state of constant tension as normal, but I tell you today, that is not my will for you. My desire is not just for you to survive, it is for you to thrive. And thriving requires seasons of deep, supernatural replenishment. The battle is now shifting. Your shepherd is taking over. I am personally leading you away from the barren, noisy battlefield where you have fought for so long. I am guiding you towards the quiet, green pastures of my presence, and I am making you lie down beside the still, peaceful waters of my spirit. I see you trying to resist, trying to stay on your feet out of habit, but I am commanding a divine ceasefire over your life. I am decreeing a season of profound rest to fall upon you. This is not just sleep. This is a holy restoration. I am commanding rest for your mind, silencing the frantic, racing thoughts, and replacing them with my tranquility. I am commanding rest for your body, releasing the tension you hold in your muscles and healing the stress-related ailments that have plagued you. And most importantly, I am commanding rest for your spirit, ending the weary struggle and infusing you with my own unshakable peace. The frantic energy of striving, the desperate need to make things happen, is being replaced by the calm, joyful assurance of my presence and my control. This is the fulfillment of my eternal invitation. So come to me now, you who are weary and carrying heavy burdens. Stop trying to carry them one step further. Lay them down at my feet and receive the gift I am giving you. I will give you rest. It is not a suggestion. It is a promise. It is not a luxury. It is your command to receive. For your entire life, you have navigated the world primarily through what your 5 natural senses have told you. You have seen the problems, heard the bad news, and felt the weight of your circumstances. You have been living in a black and white world, aware only of the natural realm. But there is a deeper, truer reality all around you, a world vibrant with spiritual color, and I am about to open your eyes to see it. I am not changing the world around you. I am changing the eyes with which you see it. I am giving you spiritual sight, and this will change everything. Do not be afraid. This is not to bring you fear of the unseen, but to bring you profound comfort and unshakable confidence in my constant, active presence. Here is what this new sight will look like. You will be going through an ordinary day, but you will suddenly become aware of the angelic protection that surrounds you and your loved ones, and a deep peace will settle your heart. You will encounter what others call a coincidence or a lucky break, but you will see it with your new eyes and know with absolute certainty that it was the intricate, loving hand of your Father orchestrating events on your behalf. The thin veil between the natural and the supernatural is becoming thinner for you. This heightened awareness is a gift, a tool for your protection and guidance. You will begin to see the spiritual root of the problems you face, not just the natural symptoms. You will discern when a conflict with a person is not just about them, but about a spirit of strife trying to cause division. This will give you the wisdom to stop fighting people and to start using your spiritual authority to address the real issue. You will see the world not as the chaotic, hopeless place portrayed on the news, but as it truly is, a world I love, a world I am redeeming, a world filled with my light that is pushing back the darkness. So I invite you to be an active participant in this. As you spend time with me, make this your prayer. Father, open my eyes. Let me see the situation, let me see this person, let me see myself the way you see. Ask me to show you what I see, and prepare to be astonished. You remember the many times your words have felt empty and powerless. The prayers that felt like they hit the ceiling and fell back to the floor. The words of encouragement you tried to give to others that felt hollow even to your own ears. That season of ineffective communication is coming to an end. As part of this new level you are entering, I am releasing a new anointing upon your mouth. Your words will no longer be mere air and sound. They will be vessels of my power, infused with the authority of my spirit. When you speak, heaven will listen and hell will tremble. This is not because of who you are, but because of who is in you and the new level of alignment you are walking in. This new authority will manifest first in your prayer life. You will pray with a boldness you have not known before. Your requests will be more aligned with my will, and you will see more direct and quicker results. Your prayers will shift from begging to declaring, as you learn to speak my promises over your situations with unwavering conviction. This authority will also flow into your daily conversations. You may speak a simple, kind word to a discouraged coworker, but that word, anointed by my Spirit, will land in their heart with the force of a divine prophecy, breaking a chain of despair they have carried for years. I am entrusting you with a greater measure of my creative power, which operates through the spoken word. Remember, I spoke the worlds into existence. The power of life and death is in your tongue. Therefore, with this greater authority comes a greater responsibility. You must be intentional about what you speak. I command you to divorce yourself from all negative talk, from gossip, from complaining, and from speaking words of doubt and fear over yourself and others. You are now called to be a releaser of life. Use your words to build up, to heal, to encourage, and to bless. I challenge you now. Align your words with my words. Speak what I say about your situation, not what your circumstances say. Speak my truth in love, and then stand back and watch as mountains of impossibility, which have stood for generations, begin to crumble and move. My child, I need you to lift your perspective, to see beyond your own life and your own struggles. The miracle I am performing, the surprise I am sending, is so much bigger than just you. You have been praying for a breakthrough for your personal situation, but I am answering your prayer with a breakthrough for your entire bloodline. For generations, your family may have been plagued by destructive patterns of poverty, of divorce, of addiction, of anger, of fear, of sickness. These generational curses have been passed down like a dark and heavy inheritance. But your faithfulness, your perseverance, and your deep cry for something more have positioned you to be a pattern breaker. You are becoming what I call a transitional character. With this powerful work I am doing in your life, you are drawing a line in the sand of your family's history. You are standing in the gap and declaring with your life, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." The curses that have flowed down from your past will stop with you. They will hit the wall of my grace in your life and will not be passed on to your children or your children's children. Instead, you are establishing a new pattern, a pattern of blessing, of favor, of health, of peace, and of faith in me. This very moment, this conversation, this impending surprise, it is a pivotal point, a turning of the tide in your family's spiritual history. Your story of my divine intervention will be told for years to come. Your children will tell their children about the night that their grandparents' life was forever changed, the moment that shifted the entire trajectory of their family's future. You are a bridge. Think of that. Your life is a bridge from a past of struggle to a future of limitless promise for your entire lineage. The weight of your past struggle was not just for you. The glory of your coming victory is not just for you either. It is for them. It is for the generations you have not yet met, so that they will be born into a legacy of blessing instead of a legacy of bondage. I am now speaking of things that will echo into eternity and reshape the future for your children's children. I am entrusting you with the keys to your family's legacy. To stop listening now would grieve the generations to come who are counting on you to receive this full impartation. For their sake, and because I love you, stay and hear me to the end. As you receive this great surprise, your heart will be overwhelmed with gratitude, and this is good and right. I want you to celebrate. I want you to rejoice in the goodness of your God. But as you celebrate, I must give you a crucial piece of wisdom to guard your heart against a subtle danger, complacency. The human tendency, after a great victory or a long-awaited breakthrough, is to see it as a final destination, a place to build a permanent home and rest from the journey. But I need you to understand, this incredible blessing is not the summit of the mountain. Think of it as a beautiful, wide, and restful base camp that I have established for you. It is a place of provision, safety, and joy, from which we will now begin our ascent to even greater heights together. This is not the end of your story of faith. It is the powerful beginning of an entirely new chapter. This surprise is a gateway. It is a door through which you will walk into a new level of living in my grace, my power, and my purpose. I am a God of more than enough, of every grace and glory. I do not operate in a system of scarcity or limitation. My nature is to always be expanding, always be creating, always be pouring out more. Therefore, I command you, do not let this miracle become a monument that you simply admire from a distance. Let it become the fuel for your faith for even greater things. This blessing is designed to expand your heart and your mind, to increase your capacity to believe me for the impossible. It is a taste of my goodness, a divine sample meant to make you hungry, not for more things, but for more of me. Let this victory propel you forward with a holy boldness. When I have healed you, now believe me for the healing of others through you. When I have provided for you, now believe me to make you a channel of provision for your community. Do not settle. Do not become complacent. The best is truly and always yet to come on your journey with me. This is a moment of profound blessing, but it is also a moment of commissioning. Receive it with joy, and then look to me and ask with an expectant heart, Father, what's next? My child, this moment we are sharing is sacred. It is a holy intersection of my eternal purpose and your earthly journey. And it is vital that you do not let the memory of it fade. When the surprise manifests, when the provision arrives, when the healing comes, your mind will be filled with the joy and the logistics of your new reality. But I am commanding you now. When it happens, I want you to intentionally pause, and I want you to remember this night. I want you to burn this very moment into the core of your being. Remember the quietness of the room around you. Remember the feeling of my presence wrapping around you like a warm blanket. Remember the gentle whisper of my voice speaking these promises directly into your spirit. Remember the spark of hope that is beginning to ignite in your heart where there was once only weariness. In ancient times, when I performed a great miracle, I would command my people to build an altar of stones, so that whenever they passed that way again, they would have a physical reminder of my power and faithfulness. Tonight, I am telling you to build an altar of remembrance, not with stones but within the temple of your own heart. This memory will become your spiritual weapon in future battles. For there will be future battles. There will be other storms, other moments of darkness, other times when your faith is tested. And in those moments, the enemy will come to you and whisper the same old lies. God has forgotten you. He is not going to come through this time. But you will have an answer. You will run to the altar in your heart. You will touch the living memory of this night, and you will declare with unshakable authority, No. I remember. I remember the night my father spoke to me. I remember the surprise he sent when I thought all was lost. The God who was faithful then is faithful now. You will not fail me. This memory will be your wellspring of hope, a source of living water you can draw from in any future season of drought. So mark this day on your spiritual calendar. Let it be forever etched into your story. For on this day, your heavenly Father leaned down from heaven, called you by name, and moved mightily on your behalf. And now, my beloved, we arrive at the final and most important truth, the foundation upon which everything else is built. Above the blessing, above the surprise, above the healing and the provision and the favor, I need you to hear this. You are loved. You are profoundly, completely, and unconditionally loved by me. This entire divine event, this surprise that is coming, is a beautiful and powerful expression of my love for you, but it is not the source of my love for you. My love for you is not dependent on the gifts I give you. I loved you just as much yesterday in your silent struggle as I will tomorrow in your public victory. My love for you was just as strong in your season of waiting as it is now in your season of receiving. Do not ever make the mistake of measuring my love for you by your external circumstances. Your circumstances change. My love does not. My love is the one constant in the universe. It is unconditional. It does not increase when you perform well, and it does not decrease when you make mistakes. It is eternal. It was there before you were born, and it will be there long after the mountains have turned to dust. This is the ultimate reality in which you can rest. For if your security is in your new blessing, what happens when a new challenge arises? If your peace is only in your new circumstance, what happens when the seasons change again? But if your security and your peace are rooted in the unshakable truth of my unchanging love, then you are safe forever. Nothing can ever separate you from my love. Not trouble, not hardship, not persecution, not fear for today or worry about tomorrow, not even the powers of hell itself. Nothing. You are mine, and you are held. So tonight, my child, I give you this final instruction. Receive your surprise with a heart overflowing with joy and gratitude. Celebrate the goodness of your God. But once the initial celebration is over, do not cling to the gift. Cling to me. Let the gift do its holy work of pointing you back to the giver. And then, rest. Rest not in the fragile security of your new circumstance, but in the eternal, unshakable security of being forever and always held in the arms of your Father, who loves you perfectly. My child, as you rest in my unconditional love, let the overflow of your secure heart become a wellspring of life for others. If you feel a surge of gratitude for the grace you have just received, that is me prompting you to extend this same security to another soul who feels unloved, unseen, and forgotten. Your gift is not a payment for my love, for my love is free. It is a log you place on this holy fire, allowing its warmth and light to reach someone shivering in the cold of despair. For I have declared in 2 Corinthians 9:8 that I am able to make all grace abound to you, so that you will have all that you need at all times. This is your immediate opportunity to turn your gratitude into a glorious action that storms the gates of darkness for another. As you release this blessing, I will release a new measure of my protective presence over you and all that you hold dear. Respond now in love. Give cheerfully through Super Thanks membership or the PayPal link below, and let your worship be heard in heaven. My child, before this moment fades into memory, seal this promise as your own. Let your hands partner with what my mouth has decreed over your life. With unshakable faith, I want you to declare it in the space below, making your testimony known. Tonight is my turn. I receive my surprise. This is more than a comment. It is your spirit saying amen to my command and the sound of your heart opening to receive. Do not hesitate, for your season has shifted, and what I have sent is already on its way. Amen. If you believe in me, your Heavenly Father, then like this video and leave a heartfelt amen in the comments. If you want to stay closer to me, then subscribe to this channel.